Packer backer, believe him or not. His name is Kyle Wallace. What's up, Kyle?
I like that. I'll take it. Believe it or not, I'm a Packer backer. I'm never, ever, ever abandoned.
Well, I'm just saying you can believe it or not. Like, I'm leaving it up to the fans to decide if you are a Packer backer or not.
I take back what I said.
Yeah, there it is. He's Kyle Wallace. Next to him is Brad Nortman. Brad, Super Bowl 50 runner-up, longtime NFL punter, a man of many talents. What's up?
I'm excited for my Hear Brad out today.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. I think it's going to be well received, and I'm solving a big problem that's got to be solved in the NFL.
Is this because you have a special guest right after Hear Brad out at 3:30? Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio is scheduled to appear on Kyle Brust Nortman at 3:30, as she is an NFL free agent, the bachelorette of NFL free agency, trying to figure out, as she was from St. Louis originally. The Rams are no longer in St. Louis, and she's trying to find a home for her fandom. So as we do at 3:30 with any guest, we will be asking her the Hear Brad out if it is any good, because if it's going to embarrass us, we do not ask guests.
Yeah, listen, this isn't the universal menu. This isn't...
so you're admitting that was a bad idea.
Finally!
I still stand by...
Chinese joint.
Listen.
You got hamburger, you got hot dog.
Keep going. Keep a movie theater one. Yeah, that's a bad one too.
My Hear Brad outs are like my children, right? Like, I love them all equally, but I can agree that maybe some were better off than others. But this one I'm proud about, and you're exactly right. When we've got a guest, especially an esteemed guest like Michelle Smallman, I got to pull out the good ones.
800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. You can get our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee or at ESPN Madison. Oh, man, and I love this so much right now because as I look at the date, you got August 21st. And as I think about the last joint practice, the last preseason game, Labor Day is around the corner. You get college football, right? There's something to obviously be excited about when you see any football that is meaningful going to the win-loss column. And I love that they play Friday. The Packers play the Friday after Labor Day. This is great for many reasons because, A, it will be the sole focus. There is no distractions. It is the Green Bay Packers against the Philadelphia Eagles on Friday. And then on Sunday, it is just like it's scout time. Like I'm just going to be scouting. I'm going to watch every game as much as I can and just lock down my brain in early season thoughts. And obviously things evolve, but it's just like it's fun. The football Sunday will be your blank canvas. You can still do whatever you want if you only watch the Packers. But if you're a nerd like me, Sunday NFL ticket, I love it to death. I will be locked in. So that is just a random aside of my excitement of how close we are actually getting to real football.
I was just talking to Lexi about this, and God bless her for all the reasons I love Lexi. This is one of them. She loves watching sports. And so we were scrolling through Netflix. We were scrolling through Max, and we're just like, I don't know. Nothing's interesting us that. And we're like, we are only a couple weekends away from no decision needing to be made. You just put sports on all the time, and you're always putting football on. I cannot wait for that.
I got to follow up here because my fiance claims she's excited for NFL football season. She says she loves watching football, but it only lasts about 3 to 4 weeks. And then, you know what I mean? So, like, how do I get her to, like, all 18 weeks, even the bye week?
Here's what you got to do. You got to get her invested into someone's like personal storyline. You know, almost like a reality TV show.
No,
yep.
I mean, like,
she's got to pick a favorite.
She was an example of why ratings were up when Travis Kelce would play on the primetime game.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me I got a problem here? So you all have a born into Packer backer and baby girl in the house, and you both aren't on the Green Bay Packers bandwagon? What's going on?
Similar.
She should have a football team.
Similar to Michelle Smallman. Mm-hmm. My fiance is from St. Louis, and their family had season tickets to the Rams. They're big sports fans of the St. Louis team.
Tragic.
So she is a free agent. I continue to say that my favorite team is whoever I bet on, and I think baby girl is going to either embrace the green and gold that's around her as she grows up in this state. I mean, she's already in a daycare. I'm sure the kids are going to be wearing Packer gear and all that, but I guess you got a transplant in the daycare from Ohio. Are they Browns fans? I don't know. I am going to let baby girl do whatever she needs to do. But this is your first time living under the same roof as your
Oh,
girlfriend during football season?
You already know what's good. She already know what's happening. Is when in
Did you write a contract?
No, she got to, before you buy the meal, sometimes you like to taste test. I love going to the mall. I love going to the mall because when you go to the mall in the food court, what happens? Hey, here's a sample. Here's a sample. And what do? Yep.
You're a big sample guy.
Oh, I'm a big sample.
Anything free.
I already know what I want, but I'm going to sample everything just in case. And she got a little bit of a sample of what life would be like living with me. And guess what?
A sample of living what it would be like versus living with is two different things.
She understands what my Packer fandom is. It's the highs and the lows.
Chris, mark this, please. Chris Larson running the show, because there will be a different feel. I would love to get her phone number one day to get her true thoughts about football Sundays with you.
I wish she would tell me to be quiet in my own damn house.
The difference is, at this point, there's going to be football viewership that's going to collide with the honey-do list. So what's going to happen then? Because it's your house, right? I mean, you guys.
Kyle's like, what's a honey-do list?
I know what a honey-do list is, but honey-do list ain't gonna be done during the Green Bay Packers game. I wish she would say something like that. I'd be like, excuse me. Now, I would say that. Oh, we trying to start arguments, huh? That's what we do. We trying to start fights, huh? You know the Packers playing right now. Jordan Love ripping it up.
Oh, wow.
That's what it be?
This is going to end well, Ben.
Yeah, I can't.
It's going to end very well. She knows she's going to be right
Kyle's
there with
a reality TV show waiting to happen for football Sunday.
And she's from Wisconsin, so she loves the Green Bay Packers, too. So we have no issue. Like, she enjoys sitting there watching the Packers. One of us gets a little bit more excited.
Yeah, she was telling you to shut up last year.
Well, because she had people that lived next door and below her, so I couldn't be stomping my feet. But now when I stomp my feet, I'm only stomping to the basement or I'm stomping to the ground. This is my damn house. I can do what I want.
Cool.
And if the neighbors got an issue, I'm going to tell them to kick rocks. Cool. Say something else.
Yeah, right. You're scared of your neighbors.
Absolutely not.
All the North Shore Nancys after you.
Absolutely not.
So speaking of which, if you missed it, on Twitter at KBN, ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison, it is official. We have put together the Kyle Bruston-Nortman Green and Gold Time Capsule Questionnaire for the 2024 and 25 football season. And there is a bunch of posts for you to print out. We have the address for you to fill out and send in your Packers time capsule. We have already I counted 50 envelopes from our office alone. Josh DiMaggio of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy has his to give to them. I gave our great social media correspondent, Maddie, some to bring back to the Madison office to have everyone fill that out there. We'll have KBN Nation as well. All you got to do is you'll see it on the break screen as well on YouTube if you're watching digitally. Take a screenshot, print that out. Mail it in, because what we are doing is official. We are going to take all these envelopes, and I don't know what's in these envelopes other than whatever people filled out in this questionnaire right now. Regular season record. How many games does Christian Watson play? Most disappointing player. Will producer Alex Strofe be invited to my wedding? When does the season end? Who leads the team in receiving? Will Kyle Wallace get engaged? It's my favorite one. Where does Jordan Love finish in MVP voting? I will, spoiler alert, I saw my fiance fill this out. She wrote good to that question.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good. He'll finish good in the MVP voting. Oh, wow. Who throws more touchdowns, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love? One surprising prediction for the season and one even more surprising prediction for the Kyle Bruston-Nortman show. So fill that out, send it in. And one thing that you guys were really nervous about was how I mentioned I'm going to lock all these answers up in a box and bury it in my backyard.
Ooh, yeah.
I have not told my fiance that we were doing this until today. Chris Larson has the reaction ready to go from my fiance as I broke the news of the burying of the time capsule.
So I'm going to bury it in our backyard, and then at the end of the season, we open up the time capsule to see what everyone predicted.
From 10 years from now, or?
No, at the end of the season. It's a season long.
Where's the 10-year thing?
Where did the 10-year thing in at all?
I thought you said 10 years.
No. Before the season, end of the season, then we unlock it and read everyone's predictions, see who's right, see who's wrong.
Our backyard is already pretty looking, so.
That's why I said I could do it in my backyard, because it already looks like crap.
Yeah.
So you're cool with it?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Man of the house! Man of the house!
Wow. I wasn't expecting that response.
Me either.
That was a classic conversation, too, of like, pow! The 10-year thing. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I wouldn't have started on that.
I think she anchored to the fact that most time capsules are like decade long, right? So I think she just heard time capsule and thought, wait a minute, this is going to be buried back there and our daughter is going to be in middle school?
She's like, are we still going to be here in 10 years?
Now, that would be funny.
I don't know if this is a 10-year house if we have another kid. Which is already scary thinking about interest rates and everything else that's going on in the world.
I don't want to stress you out. You already stressed out about your dreams yesterday.
But I'm not stressed out about the burying of the time capsule. You guys made this seem like a big deal. The only thing that I'm worried about is Josh DiMaggio chiming in to me in the office, producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewing on 94.5 ESPN. And many others are worried I'm going to hit a power line and take the whole neighborhood out.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it happening. I mean, how deep are we trying to bury this?
Yeah, what
I mean,
trying to go
talking?
6
It's got to be underground.
Okay, underground is not. I mean, you can be.
It's going to be a foot underground.
Okay, a foot is not far. I mean, you're not going to.
And we're not going 6 feet under. No one's dying.
Yeah, a foot. You should be fine.
Sean in Milwaukee, 800-990-3776. You're up on Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
What's going on, guys? I'm just kind of curious on how you're going to dig it up in the middle of winter. Ground's going to be super frozen.
Yeah, so, Sean, that's a great follow-up.
Through, Sean.
And a great question. I've already discussed this with Alex Strofe. As we know, Brad doesn't show up till 1 o'clock. Kyle is
not going to do it.
Not going to do it, as he says.
Strofe always plays.
I will have an ice pick. I will have. I'll get a blowtorch.
Yeah, flamethrower.
I'll melt the ground. It's going to be tough.
I hope there's an ice storm and a snowstorm, and it's -20 when it's time.
Why are you hoping for this?
Because I like to see
Kyle,
it work a little bit.
you know you're not getting out of this, right? You and I will be out there.
I will not be digging for anything. I will have my warm jacket on, looking from inside the house with baby girl in my hands. Look at your daddy go.
Kyle, if you can go to your shoulders in Lake Michigan in January, you can stand there out there with us doing a little ice pick.
Look at all these time capsules, baby.
Look at all that.
These are going to be buried underground.
Man.
Stevie chimes in. Bennett, according to Google, you are a millionaire. What are you tweaking about? I don't know how many times I have to say this. My net worth on Google is not representative of what I am seeing in my accounts. Unless I'm in somebody's trust that I do not know about, the 3 to 5 million should be shrinking ASAP.
Where did this come from?
I don't know. People have showed me.
NIL bin or this is actual bin?
We talked with Coach Greg Gard of the Wisconsin Badgers of what my median would be of my senior year of what I would make, around 400 to 500 grand. But I ain't living in that world, and I ain't got reparations for it.
The very first of Ben Brust's net worth, it says $13.8 million.
What?
13.8.
Where did you see this at?
It's on peopleai.com.
People AI. What website is this?
It was the very first thing that came up.
What do you look? Ben Brust's net worth?
It's Ben Brust net worth $13.8 million.
I'm usually the first Ben Brust that pops up. Is this somebody else? Is this a content creator? Is this a Fortune 500 CEO? Because I haven't seen them pop up at Google. If you trust me,
I will say the other thing that pops up when you see Ben and net worth is Ben Affleck and all the stuff going on with him and J-Lo.
Appleman in the Orchard chimes in as he's making cider. He can bring his blowtorch if I need to unbury the time capsule. So
a blowtorch would be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, I
don't know if I trust a blowtorch.
Because you got a fence, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could light that thing ablaze if we're not too easy with the blowtorch.
Yeah, I don't want to be
What do you mean we? You say you're not going to be there? He's not going to be there?
I'll be there. I'm just not doing any work in the cold weather. It's hard enough to shovel.
Kyle's going to be looking from the inside of my house into the yard.
Kyle, we can make some hot cocoa from inside.
Ooh, give me some marshmallows?
Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it?
That sounds delicious.
Encourage, but from a safe distance.
Yeah, we'll let the guys who came with the idea to bury it in the backyard and getting in January or February.
Are there ice picks in Wisconsin? I feel like an Eskimo.
Yeah. I'm sure there's an outdoor store that we could hit up to get an ice pick.
I hope there's so much snow down there that you have to really because people snow just compiles. Nobody gets snow off their grass. I hope it's like a foot of snow out there.
Now you know what we should do, because this is similar to like if you had to drill a hole for ice fishing. We should get ice fishing gear. They can get like the tent.
We can't ice fish in my backyard.
Yeah, but we can like recreate it, right? We can get the little tent, the little shanty. We can get a little portable fire.
I mean, if you have a portable fire, maybe I go in there and watch from that distance. But I'm not breaking a sweat in your backyard, Ben.
Well, the submissions are coming in. They're on Twitter at KBN ESPN, on Twitter X. Our address is out there. Fill out the official Kyle Bruston-Nortman green and gold time capsule questionnaire for next season. And again, my favorite one is, one more one even more surprising prediction for Kyle Bruston Nortman's show. There's a great one that I saw another female write. I know I'm not supposed to be reading these, but when you see some people that are making some wild accusations about one Kyle Wallace, I can't wait to read that one when the season's over.
That's crazy. That sounds dangerous. Can I just really quickly say is that I didn't realize these were passed around. Like we get a lot of messages, and I saw a message that I saw Tony Carter walking around with a bucket. I didn't know it was in a bucket. It's weird when you walk upstairs and somebody randomly says, "How long have you and your girlfriend been together?" Somebody who you talk to, but like
people need to know.
Like
people need to know. One of the questions is, will you get engaged?
They're trying to make odds.
And then to make it even more awkward, when you're standing in the kitchen, just making your little sandwich that you have, and people are having conversations with you around about you, but like don't acknowledge that you're there. Yeah, I don't know. He was talking like this at the family fest. So I don't know if he's gonna get married or engaged or not. Or no, I'm betting on him. I'm like, bro, I'm right
this
here.
This is my favorite question of the questionnaire.
It makes me feel uncomfortable. If I'm going to be honest,
you have commitment issues, and that's for another day, and you should take that up with somebody else outside of KBN Nation. Brad Nortman has continued to talk about how game reps do not replicate practice reps, but if Matt LaFleur is going to put this week of practice as a barometer of how this team performs and if they're going to play in the preseason game, well, the joint practice tomorrow is important. He'll tell you how important. That's next on Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Mondays, Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services in cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's exactly the way I'd make shoes.
Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you also know we have the best prices guaranteed every day? Pet food, wild bird food, automotive, hunting, fishing, farming, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hanging out with you, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776. You can also catch us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman. The Green Bay Packers have had 2 practices this week. I don't know about you guys. This week has flown. It's already Wednesday, and there's a joint practice tomorrow, preseason game Saturday. And not to make this feel like a game, because last time Kyle called this game day eve, game day did not go well in the joint practice for the Green Bay Packers against the Broncos. But according to sources, a.k.a. Kyle Wallace, the Ravens have not had a joint practice. The Packers have had one and it did not fare well. And Matt LaFleur made it very clear that how this team plays in practice and on Thursday in their joint practice will likely determine if they have to play in a preseason game on Saturday. So, Brad, where are you at in terms of this training camp? Because it's been odd, right? From Jordan Love sitting out the first 4 practices. Again, Kyle called him selfish. I still don't believe that those 4 practices had any effect on the actual play on the field. But according to Jason Wilde, he has not been star-spangled awesome. The defense took a step back. Where are you? I mean, kicking battle, like there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to this Packers team that you want to not be talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most important week of training camp. It's not even close, really, especially when you look at what happened in Denver.
Quick follow-up. Is it always, in your NFL experience of 6 years, is this week always the most important, or does it depend on how your team structures your training camp?
Well, traditionally, when you had the 4th game, the 3rd week of like the preseason games is always the week that starters would play like a full half. You would really treat it like the tune-up game, and then the last game everyone's kind of checked out for. That's all for the guys that are likely going to get cut. So even with the new structure of 3 games, I think this is when your team should be most dialed in, most in rhythm, and it's when you have like the real shot at one last test, one last tune-up before week 1. So I think that teams take this opportunity as that final important tune-up before basically a week of rest and then a week of game plan before you start. But especially for this Green Bay Packer team, I mean, you're about to face a team that's a perennial contender in the Baltimore Ravens, and you're coming off a week from start to finish that was just embarrassing in Denver. Even if we agree that, okay, this doesn't matter in the grand scheme of regular season, it was an embarrassing look. So if the Packers don't come out and contend, play well, I'm not saying they need to dominate the Ravens, but they better darn well do better than they did in Denver. And if they don't, I'm officially concerned.
Concerned about what?
Concerned about this team being where they need to go to start the season strong. I'm not saying that they're going to miss the playoffs. I'm not saying any of that, but they're going to start slow if they don't come out and have a good week this week, because all the evidence on the field is showing me they're not ready for prime time yet. So they got to come out there and do well, have a good, clean, crisp practice, and compete, because this, if not, this will be the worst Packers training camp that I can think of in recent memory.
Oh, wow. And I think a lot of that is based off the fact that the Green Bay Packers, with this current roster, with this current team, has not shown to you that they are going to be a consistent football team. That's why Brad is saying this. If Aaron Rodgers was still on this team, Devontae Adams was still on this team, Aaron Jones is still on this team, you wouldn't be concerned one bit. You would say, yeah, they don't look great, but we know what they've done during the regular season. That is not the case for these Green Bay Packers. And that's why I believe right there with you, Brad, that it is essential that they go out there in this practice tomorrow, this joint practice against a very good Ravens football team, and it's going to be Ravens' first time being able to have a highly competitive practice against somebody not themselves. The Packers are going to have a tough competitor, and I really want to see them shine, because if they don't shine and we see the same headlines that we saw last week of Bo Nix lighting up and hearing Lamar Jackson lighting up, Lamar Jackson scrambling, them getting gashed by Derrick Henry, you know what I expect? I expect 10 to trot out there with the rest of the boys on Saturday in order to show that they are truly prepared for week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is bigger than last week. Why? It's because now you have to go against a higher level of competition. We will find out whether or not last week was because the Green Bay Packers took the pedal off the gas, or if it is the Packers have a bigger issue that Matt LaFleur needs to address.
Are you concerned based off the Packers' performances this training camp? I mean, as a whole, like, are you just concerned from training camp that this is going to affect week 1? 800-990-3776. And part of this is to be determined. I still, again, I wasn't Brad Nortman. I wasn't, Mark Tauscher or Brian Balaga. I just feel like it's changed a little bit, right? Even when you're talking about the 4 preseason games that there were when you played, and the third week was most important, and then the fourth week it was kind of just like everyone's playing for their job on the back end of the roster. Do I feel like they need to play better, especially in this joint practice? Yeah. Do they need to dominate? No. You just need some more positivity. Whether it be well, it doesn't need to be a whole team thing. Like, if Jordan Love was great and Jaden Reed and Romeo Doubs were great, but Wicks dropped a ball and like, I you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for them to steal the moon like Despicable Me, right? I'm just looking for them to actually just have some moments where it's like, all right, we got some reports back. All right, Jordan Love played well, right? Not like, sure, there was a couple things, here and there. Just a couple things to make me feel positive. I don't need them to win. I don't need this. I don't need that. I just want a little taste of success to get a little bit positive momentum.
Remind us and them that it's in there.
Yeah, and what word did you say is very hard to spell today during our show prep?
Rhythm.
That's what
I can't spell rhythm.
But
hang on, I'm going to try and spell it right now. It's RH, right?
Yep, that's probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
TH?
No.
See, but you can see why, like, this is why sounded out is stupid. Rhythm. Like, it sounds like
RHYTHM?
Yep.
Yeah.
RHY?
RHYTHM.
Rhythm.
The only
there
vowel
should be an
is
E in there.
The only vowel is the Y.
Yeah,
it's like the sometimes Y is Y as a vowel.
But yeah, I know, I get that part, but like, if you were to sound rhythm out, I would never get to RHYTHM, but yes, this team needs it.
And the Green Bay Packers do need rhythm. They absolutely need rhythm in order for us in order for us to feel confident, because that's something that Jason Willie has talked about, basically, and then also Matt LaFleur. Thank you, Chris.
Rhythm
is that it's been way too inconsistent with this offense during this training camp. They have not been able to have good.
I already got rid of
rhythm during this training camp, and that is the missing piece. Overall, for the defense, like, we don't know what to expect from the defense. I don't think this is why we're not talking about, the defense led in 27 points, they didn't play. And we're not really concerned about that, because we understand that they're truly going to be judged on what they do when actual football starts during the regular season.
Like, all I want is Jair on Zay Flowers.
Exactly.
Great job.
Yeah,
Xavier McKinney did a great job filling holes and commanding the back end of the defense. No big plays for Lamar Jackson and a talented Ravens run offense.
And I think that's totally acceptable to ask for, right? I don't think we got any of that in Denver. My question is, how long can you have bad sustained practice and expect that not to carry over into a game? It just seems like there's excuses going on, like, well, they'll find it. Well, look at last year. And that's true. And we agree that this team is talented. And for a young team, they are experienced, right? Experienced enough to draw from last year.
But last year shouldn't be the blueprint, Brad. That should not.
You don't want to start slow to have to grow.
You have to grow from that. That was the start. That was going through the struggles, going through the bumps, going through the ups and downs, and actually growing, right? Because that was growth is all about. Growth is about experiencing negative and growing from that. The Green Bay Packers need to be starting from higher than that, right? Because they've already experienced that. So knowing that we're talking about last year's blueprint and we're not going to be concerned, that's the biggest concerning thing to me, is that I just don't feel like people are upset enough about the fact that this offense has not been in a rhythm.
Yeah, but again, the blueprint, as you mentioned, you need to experience things, and as we talk about this is part of an experience for this team's iteration, right? If you don't want last year to be the blueprint, we haven't even seen them play a real football game yet. And if this week can be getting them towards a rhythm, that's all you need, because it's a different team, right? There is experience with those guys winning big games, and so if you get a taste of what we remember hearing about and seeing, and Jordan Love playing well, then you'll take a deep breath and you'll be okay.
What is it that you guys want this football team to be? And I'm being dead serious about this. What is it that you want this football team to be this year?
That's a very wide-ranging question. Do you want the record? Do you want the identity?
When you watch the Green Bay Packers this year, what is it that you want to walk away saying is, okay, this team is X?
I want them to be a versatile offense, continuing to build upon what they had with 4 wide receivers and good depth there. I want the run game to continue to grow with an investment that you've made with Josh Jacobs.
We're good right there. Okay, so tell me this. Based off, again, it's only training camp, but based off the reports out of training camp.
I ain't doing this.
No, based on the reports out of training camp, do you feel confident that that's what this football team is going to look like week 1?
I think
Answer's no.
It's not apples to apples. It's not apples to apples. Training camp to real games is not apples to apples.
They're not there yet, though. I want the offense to be dynamic. I don't think they've been dynamic all preseason, any practice even. From all the reports,
there hasn't been a lot of optimism of the effect of these guys.
This is why I say you can decide if he's a Packer backer or not.
I'm 100% a Packer backer, but for me, is that I watched dominant football for most of my life. By the time that the Packers made it to the Super Bowl, I was a young kid, and before that, the Packers.
And how many of those dominant years did you have to worry about getting your panties in a bunch for preseason? Not a lot.
I didn't have to, but they had proven it, right? And even with Aaron Rodgers,
they proved enough for me last year to give them a little bit of grace, more grace than you're giving them. 800-990-3776. Kyle Bruston-Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin. No Alex Stroh, so maybe some already relevant with Chris Larson, or maybe something else. It's called the double tease, deep tease. Yeah, baby. Inside Radio. Next.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston-Ortman, KBN.
And I said, it just came out. I said, are y'all going to talk the whole show like this?
Good for you.
For the next 25 minutes, all they said was they started ripping me. Oh, you going to clap like that the whole time? You going to laugh like that the whole time?
No.
You going to lean back like that the whole time? Why don't y'all go sit over in them open seats?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Don't put your life on hold to earn a degree. Lakeland University has a long history of making students' dreams come true. Since 1862, build a schedule that meets your needs with options for 7- and 12-week courses, evening classes, and the ability to join classes remotely. Lakeland University is Wisconsin's leader in evening and online education. They have a main campus in Sheboygan County and 6 centers throughout the whole state. Lakeland University. Affordable, quality, flexible. Find out your next steps at info.lakeland.edu.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
After Sunday's preseason loss to the Denver Broncos, Matt LaFleur said he wanted players to strain themselves, and he wasn't sure if it happened after his team was outplayed on both sides of the ball. However, after watching the tape a couple days later, the Packers head coach admitted he was wrong about his team's effort.
After watching the tape, I don't think I truly appreciated it. Our guys were playing hard. They were straining. We had a bunch of mental mistakes, and we didn't execute all the time.
The Packers preparing for their final preseason tune-up on Saturday against the Baltimore Ravens. Kickoff from Lambeau Field is at noon.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
First time building your own nest? Call Tri-City. We'll do the rest. Our hometown lenders will put you at ease. Your home building process will be a breeze. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All right, so yesterday, if you missed the show, you can go to WisconsinOnDemand.com or YouTube, ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee. Many people were accusing us of doing substances that may alter the mind. That did not happen. We took a deep dive into things we don't understand, like how I talk into this microphone and somehow ends up in cars, Wi-Fi, light years, and things billions of light years away. And then something happened to Brad Nortman.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked at length about my blind situation, right? On how I refuse to get blinds.
Whoa. You got to start with, I have an estate. The Nortman estate has lots of windows that you're just raw windows.
He is raw windows out on that. I can't believe it.
Yeah, the Nortman estate has a lot of windows, and that's why I'm getting hesitant to get blinds. I'm like, do I really need these? My garbage bags are still working beautifully. It's so dark in our bedroom. I love it.
Wait. You have kept those up?
They're still up. It's still summertime. We got to get some.
You're talking about the black garbage bags you taped to your master bedroom window.
Yes, that's probably been good 2 months now. 2.5 months.
You played in the NFL. Keep going.
So anyway, I whether it be our conversation here on Kyle Bruston Nortman or mine and Lexi's conversation at home, entertaining the idea of blinds, but never getting quite to the credit card swipe. I don't know what it is. My social algorithm is showing me nonstop advertisements of blinds. Blinds, blackout blinds, like all these things. And I'm not going to lie. Every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, that's tempting. Like, that looks real nice. But like, it is just totally crazy how I haven't Googled it. I haven't done anything to search it or draw it in. Purely from our voices is the phone picking it up. So I'm just like, I'm freaked out, guys. Freaked out.
It should be something for you to be freaked out about.
You want to know what happened to me?
What happened to you?
So you know how Steve the Homer True for the Homer Hour from 5 to 6 comes in here with headphones that looks like they're from 1960 that you plug into a Walkman that probably got, originated in the 1990s. I don't know when Walkmans with, the CD player, when did those start? I had one.
Like 80s? 80s, yeah. 80s into the 90s.
I was like, Homer, where'd you get those headphones? He goes, remember that commercial you saw in the Super Bowl is everywhere? No free ads here, but I'll do it right now. Temu. Right? Y'all heard of Temu? Maybe you remember it from the Super Bowl?
Get ready, KBN Nation.
Get ready. If you just heard me say that, your phones are going to light up with Temu.
It 100%.
Because now I'm getting Temu. I don't want anything from Temu.
Stop saying it.
And I've accidentally clicked on Temu.
Oh, you're
I'm
done.
blank.
You have no chance.
I have no chance.
You have no chance. So we had this conversation before where you said, "Hey, oh my gosh,
we had
it it's not
today at 1:15 15, I don't know, you probably have a timestamp.
Y'all have a timestamp.
Oh, well, we're talking about how Brad can't get stopped from blinds being thrown at him. And then you freaked out. And I was like, no, because Brad, you know this. Kyle is very demonstrative with his.
Great
he'll be
word,
like,
too.
Usually justified.
Reactive.
No, it's never justified. I always think it's like a family emergency with how he reacts.
Yeah.
It's usually justified.
It's usually too much for what the news actually was.
And so obviously you all know how Ben is. Ben's the annoying little brother. He's the baby brother. You know, we know how Miss O'Kelly tried to get him not to be the annoying little brother that didn't like to read or do his homework, but he didn't listen. And so after he tells this story about Temu, we all said, hey man, don't say that too loud because our phones are listening. So what did Ben do, Brad? Temu.
Oh, kept on saying Temu.
Did I do that?
You said Temu about 10
I think I said it like 10 times as a joke.
Over and over, just to
get it all in your phone.
He said, I hope it's all on everybody's phone. And I'm telling you this right now.
That's right. You did do
about
that.
1:14 he did that. At 1:24, I get a buzz from a weird plus 58 number. I'm like, oh, what is this? And so I just glanced just a little bit to see what this nonsense is. And this is what the message I got.
Well, no, your reaction was, oh, hell!
Well, because as I glanced to read, and I will let you know when I said, oh, hell. And so as I'm sitting here listening in the meeting while also reading my phone, the message said, hello, good morning. I'm Destiny, a customer service agent at Network Staffing, and your resume has been recommended by several online recruiting companies. Therefore, our company is offering
You're looking to leave us?
You have
a resume out there?
My resume is not online. It cannot be found. My LinkedIn page is, though. Therefore, our company is offering you a remote online job, which is a great remote, part-time, full-time online job, helping Temu merchants update data. And when I saw Temu, I said, oh, what is going on? Because how in the world did I randomly get a text message 10 minutes
It wasn't random. I said Temu.
He said Temu. And then we had a conversation talking about how weird it is that our phones pick up the things that we are saying, even though we're not like researching it or looking it up. And 10 minutes later, I get a text message asking me to work for Temu? How much are they paying them?
I love the way that you say Temu.
This broke. They talk about $1,000 a week.
$1,000 a week?
For a base salary or $1,000 for every 5 days you work. Oh, that's not bad, I guess.
Fully remote?
Fully remote.
You can do this on top of what you're doing.
Yeah, said, wait a minute, work for 60 to 90 minutes. Oh, I might have to get back to them on this one. I don't know. But it's crazy to me how much the phones are actually listening to the part that my phone, I'm going to turn something off on my phone. My phone picked up Ben being a jerk and saying that Temu 25 times.
I hope.
I got a text message 10 minutes
I hope
later.
anyone listening right now, Temu. If you get something, please send it via Twitter or 800-990-3776. I want to see how far this Temu travels.
Oh, it freaked me out.
And it all started with Homer. Implanting that here and then bringing us to this moment to where Kyle is being cold text messaged about Temu. It's crazy. It's scary, man. This is a scary world we live in.
Have you ever done the thing where you've just thought about something and it shows up?
Oh, that's the freakiest thing.
Yeah.
That's happened?
Yeah,
it's happened to me too.
It happened to everybody.
But I haven't spoke it. I'd just be thinking it.
Yeah, they have mind control on us. Here's the thing. They know.
Who's they?
The cloud. They have mind control over us because of the fact that when we think things, sometimes we say it and different things like that. But the phone knows what we want. They know what we desire.
I don't want Temu.
But no, maybe you do. Exactly. Maybe you do. They need you to click to see the magic that they have to offer.
Well, if they're offering you a part-time job, I don't know if I want to see what they have to offer.
I don't know, man. 60. I might have to just risk this responding back to this person. They hacking me because I don't know.
Her name is Destiny.
Listen, Destiny, for 60 to 90 minutes to make $1,000, I can do that.
I'll tell you what, too. When you click on one of those, like you did with Temu, you are done. You are cooked. There was this one apparel company that I got an ad for that was like, ooh, that's a pretty fire Wisconsin Badger hat. I clicked it. I'm telling you, it was 6 months of every sixth post on social media. Like, would this thing finally show? I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
You know what's crazy is that y'all know I was looking for a duvet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got so many dang different companies.
Is this because you ruined your duvet?
I typed it in. Huh?
Did you fix your duvet or was that done?
Oh, that duvet's in the junkyard.
Oh,
yeah.
That was an expensive duvet.
Who you telling? And
you washed it, and it turned into a puddle.
You want to know the saddest story about this is that It was a $300-something.
For those who don't know what a duvet is,
yeah, I didn't know what it was either.
It's just a very nice
It's
comforter.
an expensive comforter.
Yeah.
It's something that poor people like me shouldn't be buying. But that's neither here nor there. And so what the saddest thing about this is that I know it's an expensive duvet, and I want to try to replace it with an expensive duvet. There's nothing more sad than when you think you found something that might be in the price range. Like you're paying $150 for a comforter. I mean, I paid $25 for a comforter. Paying $150, $160 for it, and you send it to somebody you love, and they say, oh, that's not a duvet. That's just like a cover for it. I say, oh my gosh,
cover for it.
I say, how
get the
much,
cover and the duvet.
How much is this? This is gonna cost. This Christmas is ruined. It's over. The budget is gone for the dang duvet.
800
GoFundMe for the duvet.
809.
Start one.
You need one for blinds. 800-990-3776. Kevin from Sheboygan chimes in. Hey guys, I don't want to sound crazy, but they are always listening. If you don't know who they is, don't worry because they know you. Thankfully, Timu is already all over my ad, so I don't have to worry about getting worse.
I'll tell you, baby boomers love the Temu. I'm telling you now. They do. I go over to my parents' house and my mom says, oh, yeah, I just got a box from Temu right now. I said, oh, okay. And she calls it that, you know, boomers like
Stevie chimes in, Moneybag Ben's needs to help. Moneybags Ben! I didn't play in the NFL, and I'm still searching for this net worth that is on Google.
Google never lies, Ben.
Am I in your trust? Estate planning?
Nah, we can talk.
Woohoo!
Wait a minute.
Don't kill me off, though.
Come on now. What you got to do for me? I'm trying to get part of that.
Well, I'm interested to see what you can do for me to work your way into that trust.
I can diversify your portfolio in your life.
It's diversified. Next question.
I'll put blinds up at your house.
Ooh, I'm listening.
And Kyle can protect your house with his friends at American Family Insurance.
Absolutely. I guess American Family Insurance, they may not specialize in protecting us from being attacked by Temu on our phones, but they definitely protect you when you're on the road driving, or they protect you inside your home, or they have life policies as well. That's the one thing that I love, and many things that I love about American Family Insurance, is the fact that they are truly there to protect you. It's not the fact they're just a big brand name. It's not the fact that they're local. It's the fact that they are a reliable insurance company locally here in Wisconsin that you know will work for you. American Family Insurance will always protect the things that matter to you, and they make sure you get to enjoy your dreams freely. So remember, insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Visit amfam.com today. That's amfam.com today to get a quote or to find a representative near you where you can get a quote with them.
I shed some tears on the way to work today. It was a tough day. I'll explain next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
No, some of those things I say act like I think I'm something that I'm not.
I mean, you can say finna. Say, listen, I'm finna do this show here from 5 to 6.
I'm finna do the show.
The Homer hour finna be lit from 5 to 6.
No, I'll never say that again.
It rolls though, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It's not me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light.
I think I'm going to have to bring Romeo Dobbs into the Tausch stand category and start promoting and pushing him more.
Wilde and Tausch.
I feel like he is just so
criminally.
Like he's an afterthought for too many Packer fans, and I think he's going to have a bust-out year.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
WTMJ's Brandon Snide here, joined by Leslie Smith from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. And Leslie, last year was the beginning of it, but you added another year, and rumor has it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, another day? Well, you got to fill me in on what is going on at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson.
Oh, yeah. So we totally wanted to play with this one and have a little fun. So everyone was typically used to the rally in September. Figured, we'll give them a Saturday. It went really well. And I was super excited because I went to the higher up and said, let's do 2 days. And he said, okay. So I'm running with it. So we're going to do our second year of the Not Rally, but we're going to do Friday and Saturday, August 30th and 31st, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., We have some pretty awesome bands set up. So there's 2 bands each day. I'll have food trucks, vendors, just all kinds of fun. And it's right before Labor Day. So, what better way than to celebrate on a Harley and come out and party with us?
Sounds like an incredible time. There's no sign up, no need to put your name on the list. You just show up and you have a blast. Motorcycle, music, and of course, tons of great food.
This is all free. There's no ride. You ride your own ride. You have fun. You come hang out and then go take another ride. So you're totally going to have a fun day. Fun 2 days, actually, with this Not Rally.
And you don't have to register. You can go out there. They got food, trucks, vendors, and of course, Leslie, Harley-Davidson's all over the showroom floor. So it doesn't hurt to come out there. You won't want to miss Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's second year of the Not Rally. And of course, that was Leslie Smith from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc. You can learn more about everything going on at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson at WISHD.com. Of course, you can like and follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Frank Daniels, our Madison Goldsmith, has an idea.
Bring him in.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
It's great to see you, Frank. What's your idea?
It's a new company policy.
Let's hear it.
You know the world-famous Kessler's warranty?
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. Even if you lose a diamond, including the center stone, we'll replace it. All maintenance is free forever. Yes, it really is that miraculous.
Every time I hear that warranty, it blows my mind.
I propose we have a jewelry cleaning policy that's as amazing as that warranty.
What would it say?
Bring us your jewelry and we'll professionally clean it. While you wait, for free. You can come in as often as you want, and we don't care where you bought your jewelry. The only thing that matters is that you want it to look amazing again. We want that too.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion carries.
Congratulations, Frank. Your idea is now company policy.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
James the Postman chimes in. I want you guys to tell me, I love James, but I don't know if I buy this. Oh my God, I just went to my web browser, and what the bleep popped up as my default page? Temu! I've never explored Temu before. Just know, James the Postman.
I'm telling you, I believe James ain't got no reason to lie. He's a postman. He could be robbing us blind as a postman, but he doesn't do that. You think
it's a federal offense?
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of people do a lot of different
Chef
things.
Ed chimes in. Kyle, if you take that job offer from Temu, who was listening to us talk about them, and then 10 minutes later offered you a lucrative deal, you can probably get an employee discount on a duvet.
Man, you know what? I
thinking.
haven't checked that website for a duvet.
What do you think your baby girl's going to say when you send her that?
She's going to say you can put that in the trash with the other one.
Gotta not tell her, though. What baby don't know don't hurt her.
Oh, she'll see the packaging because she's always at home.
She against Temu?
No, she'll see the weird packaging.
Yeah, like
it ain't from the other one that everybody know about, the big giant here in America. So she'll be like, what is this?
Wrong house.
We'll keep it, though.
Yeah, let's just see what it is.
Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776. Well, a couple things of Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here. A couple things of progress was today I had drop off for daycare, and last time I had drop off for daycare, I started driving down the highway like I was going to work, and I heard a noise, and I was like, holy cow, I got to turn around and take her to daycare. Today, I made sure I went right to daycare. And, last night it was a beautiful...
Yeah, good
she went down wonderfully, right at 7 o'clock. I didn't have to rock her extra. She was super tired, had a great night of sleep. So, that was sweet. I just held her, and I loved every second of it, and I realized, holy cow, I love this girl so much. And then this morning... I go to daycare drop off. I open up the door and I get her out of the car seat and I'm holding her because I love her. I'm kissing her. She pushes me away.
Oh, no.
She took the hands and pushed away.
Already?
Oh, gosh.
And then she saw our wonderful daycare person who takes care of her and lit up with a smile and reached for her.
She loves her more than she loves you.
She does. This is like 18-year-old baby Brust is already saying, "See you later, Dad." I'm off to the.
Is this the rest of my life? Because I literally was like close to tears.
Yeah, this is the rest of your life. This is the first time of many of when she will basically shoo you away. Oh, wait till she grows. First day
am I supposed to be happy that she's at a place at daycare where she loves the person? Or am I supposed to be upset that she doesn't love me and I'm the one wiping the butt, feeding, putting her to sleep, helping get her ready?
Well, now you know how Bruce feels.
What, Bruce the dog? He's a dog!
Bruce the dog had to watch you just to turn your back on him, leaving him outside, ain't feeding him like you used to. Not
leaving
taking
him outside? Not leaving him outside?
Not taking him on walks. That's why he's pooping in the house. They're like, hey, pay attention to me. Wipe my butt like you do the baby.
I took him for a 50-minute walk, both dogs, and it was actually a really bad move because now when I get home, I think they're expecting a really long walk, and it's just a walk long enough for them to do their business and turn right back so I can get to the couch.
See? Exactly. Now you know how it feels.
Yeah, Ben, this is like Kyle said, this is the first of many, right? This will be the first time where she's like, "Dad, I'm done with you. I'm on to this new shiny thing."
Well, and I think what hurt me most is someone who like I really respect and like love working with. His name's Brad Nortman. And I told this story just like I didn't think we'd be
more like Brad.
No, I ain't gonna be more like Brad. This was rude. I was opening up my heart. This wasn't something I was planning on talking about for the show.
Yeah, you showed vulnerability.
And in the show sheet that we put together each day, we have Ben's daughter is over him, segment 4. What the hell was that? And I literally asked who wrote that, and the last person I expected was for it to be you.
Is it inaccurate though? It's accurate.
Maybe
She's get out of my way. I'm blazing my own trail.
Ben, she realized where the fun place is, and so really you're just there to take care of her. And so she's like, all right, thank you, bye. Okay, stop with the kisses. Hey!
There ain't no way a 7-month-old could recognize that.
Oh, she knows that when she sees that face means she's going to be with other kids. She's going to be stimulated. She's going to have a great time. Your face means rock to go to sleep, feed. Now, you're always doing things she doesn't want to do.
Now, the next level of hurt is going to be when she's maybe 2, 3, starts making friends, and she makes a special friend with another boy that she likes playing with.
Oh, wow. 2 or 3? What the hell is wrong with you?
She likes,
what's wrong with you?
She likes playing with that boy more than she likes playing with you.
Just stop doubling down.
Oh, my God.
Zip it.
She's excited to play, with that boy.
Are you calling baby girl floozy? What are you doing?
No, she's a one.
Now you shut up too.
She's a one-man. She's a one-man toddler.
It's about 2 or 3. I'm thinking, 2 or 3 play with toys instead of you. 2 or 3 find a man. Come on, man.
Yeah, she likes hanging out with him more than she likes hanging out with Ben.
Dang, at least say 12.
Yeah, right.
I know 2 or 3.
Is she not going to have friends that are boys when she's 3?
No.
Wow.
That I can agree with.
Thanks, Kyle.
We got to go beat up somebody's parents. We can do it, Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your little boy away from my little girl.
I know who to go with that. Diana from Maguanago, 800-990-3776. I'm sure this is parental advice.
Yes, it is. You might be a little sad over what she did this morning, but just be thankful that she's going to a good daycare. It's even harder when you drop them off and they start crying because you're leaving them there.
I actually like that. I'd be like, oh, yeah, she's going to miss me.
She's dependent.
She didn't cry over me. She says, see you later. And Kyle said something, and Brad said something I don't want to repeat. You guys were really mean and weird there.
I wasn't being weird. That's Brad. That's Brad.
Listen, it's just going to happen.
The problem this segment,
it's better you address it now because it's going to happen. She's gonna be interested in playing with little Timmy more than she is with playing with Daddy Ben.
Little Timmy? Are you doing this for real? Little Timmy.
Little Timmy.
Dang.
Little Timmy's gonna make her laugh.
Brad.
Wow.
Brad, stop.
Oh,
Banger, banger, banger.
Woo!
Earning a barn with a really, really good point. Ben, if you're taking advice from Kyle, stop yourself, especially baby advice.
You don't like kids.
No.
You said you don't like kids.
So kids aren't for you.
I
kicking it with other people's kids because I understand that they get to leave at a certain time. Like my little cousin last week when I had to straighten her out a little bit. Like I ain't gonna be around her too long. I just need her to survive for 2 hours so I can eat.
Yeah, I think point proven right there. Point proven right there.
Oh, you better make sure ain't no Timmy's at this daycare.
Keep your head on a swivel for little Timmy.
Little terrible Timmy gonna come after her.
I
Terrible
want
Timmy.
KBN Nation to describe Matt LaFleur's coaching style in one word. 800-990-3776. Because all the way as we put this scale from Mother Teresa to Bobby Knight, where does Matt LaFleur fit into that scale? And what word would you use to describe Matt LaFleur's coaching style? That is up next in 2 minutes after I have a heart-to-heart in those 2 minutes with these two gentlemen about how they just addressed my daughter.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Liss is more.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Rick Papandrea is joining me. How special is it for you being able to watch people see their quality of life return?
There's no doubt that the efficiency is great for everybody. It's very rewarding as a surgeon to take care of somebody and see them get better. But to have them come in and do it in a seamless fashion is really exciting. One case comes to mind. We had a young girl who was doing some cartwheels, and she came in with a broken elbow, and everything lined up, maybe more so than even is typical. She needed special care. She needed her elbow fixed with a very particular fracture that is difficult to fix. And not only is it difficult to fix, but it can be somewhat complicated by stiffness. So with my specialty of my background, I do a lot of elbow arthroscopy, which isn't very common. And we had her in the operating room later that day where I was able to arthroscopically reduce and fix her elbow fracture. And she was back to a normal kid about 2 months later.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
800-990-3776. Would love for KBN Nation to give their one word to describe Matt LaFleur's coaching style. It's been an interesting training camp. We've heard frustration from him after the joint practice and the bad preseason game. You know, all things combined from the practice and preseason game, knowing there were starters that weren't playing, but still a lack of effort that he would have liked to have seen from his team. Greg chimed in earlier, and he didn't even know we were going to talk about this. Hey, Benny, you better start practicing your Matty Mouse routine. The players are only getting a big head, and I told you, Love will be a diva soon, way before the regular season. Only Rodgers did 9 to 10 years. Remember, Vegas is usually accurate. I don't really get the Vegas thing. The 9.5 wins, I still feel pretty good about the 10. I'm not at Matty Mouse voice yet. But I would describe Matt LaFleur's coaching style as chameleon. Because when he, wants to be tough, he'll be like, all right, we got to be tough, right? If he wants to be, player-friendly, you can hear him be player-friendly, all right? Like, Bill Belichick, you knew every press conference what you were going to get. And at times, I would say Matt LaFleur reacts emotionally. Especially on the press conferences, right? Part of it is this is a tough gig, and when you see the defense give up 200-yard rushers 4 times last year, you want to say, hey, we got gashed, we got this, we got that. But part of me, wants a coach that isn't going to air the internal laundry out there. Like, I think fans know that, and I think, it's easy to get caught up in the emotion. And I think Chef Ed, with a good one, laid back. JD and Fondy, method coach has a plan but changes to play style. I don't know if that's a word, but we're looking for your one word to describe Matt LaFleur's coaching style. 800-990-3776. Quickly, we'll go to Ken in Madison. Ken, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. If you have a one word for Matt LaFleur, I know that's not what you're calling for, but you can give that as well.
Didn't even think about it. I was talking about parenting advice, so if you want a word for LaFleur, you have to wait for the next call.
10-4.
I'm a grandpa. I'm not a dad anymore, and my grandson loves me to death. I'm the guy that if you hand him off, he goes crying if I have to give him up. So the one piece of advice I can give you is never, ever be in a hurry. If you're changing a diaper, if you're feeding him, if you're reading a book, there's never anything more important than spending the time with them. And if you just give them that time, they'll love you forever. Parents are always running out the door. They're always in a hurry. It's next, got to do it. And you got to get out of that mindset. That's the thing that the kids love. They love the attention. They love the time. Carry them around the house, talk to them, love them. That's the best thing you can do.
Ken, thank you so much for the kind words. After my two cohorts, Brad Nortman and Kyle Wallace, were very rude about my parenting situation of my daughter turning away from me and wanting to get out of my arms as quickly as possible at daycare. We get back to Matt LaFleur's coaching style and the one word that you would use. This is where it gets a little bit tough for me, is reading these words. Cogent. C-O-G-E-N-T.
I don't even know that word. Cogent?
Go ahead and ask Google. I definitely
James the Postman says evolving. Dave from Aaron says consistent. And Rick in Madison chimes in, says chillaxed.
Oh. Okay, that's kind of like my word, right? So I like chameleon a lot from you, Ben. My word is friendly. You used it and you didn't even know it. He's friendly in a lot of ways. He's quarterback friendly, right? Like his system and his scheme is very quarterback friendly. It allowed Aaron Rodgers to have MVP seasons and Jordan Love to do really well. He's very player friendly. We know that he very much defends his players. He goes kind of easy on them at practice and doesn't increase their workload. He's very player friendly. And on the scale of tough to I'll use the term friendly, he's very much closer to friendly. Even when he gave Jason Wilde a hard time yesterday about walking in late to the press conference, he couldn't even hold the joke for that long before he said, I'm just kidding, sit back down.
Tausch said there was no pregnant pause to make him stew in his pants a little bit.
So it's all about friendliness. And he has times where he calls people out, but the quick recovery is back to you know what? Maybe I was too hard on them. Yeah, well, they just need a little bit of love. They need a little bit of encouragement. So the dude is just friendly. And I don't mind that as a coach, but he's friendly. He's quarterback friendly. He's player friendly. He's just friendly.
Yeah, there's a word that gets thrown around a lot, and it is one word. It has a hyphen in it. And some would accuse me of doing this.
Of course, you couldn't just find a word without a hyphen.
Flip-flopper.
Oh.
He's a flip-flopper.
You would know.
Well, maybe and maybe not. But the reason why he's a flip-flopper is because of the fact that he goes back and forth of exactly what he wants to do. And we complained about this, that he had a lack of identity that he was trying to discover last year as he took over a new, younger football team that no longer had Aaron Rodgers leading that football team, which led to a lot of inconsistencies and erratic behavior from him as a head coach. And the reason why I say he's a flip-flopper is we look at this. Before, when Aaron Rodgers was here, Aaron Rodgers absolutely hated having joint practices, so we minimized the amount of joint practices that we have, right? Even this week, right? He's already talking different than he did last week. Last week it was, the starters aren't going to play. They're not going to play. And then what happens? What we're going to see, right? We're going to figure out what we're going to do with this. So my issue with Matt LaFleur is that he flip-flops a little bit too much, and he just doesn't have an identity of what he truly wants to be. Be consistent. Be the guy that you want to be. Don't try to be the guy that says, I want these guys to wake up with their pee hot in the morning, and then the next thing you know, you're making excuses for them going out there and laying an egg and not saying that, well, maybe I shouldn't have said they didn't play with a lot of hard effort. Matt LaFleur, be a stern coach, be the guy that you want to be, because right now you have an opportunity.
If he's not a stern coach, like in his personality, you don't want someone to be something they're not.
Well, then he needs to figure out what he is, because some days he's out there snapping on people and other days he's being light on people. What I want Matt LaFleur to do is I want him to command that locker room consistently, because what we saw last week was because of the result that Matt LaFleur, to me, there's just something missing with him being able to command that locker room and get guys amped up and ready to go, despite them knowing that week of practice and they weren't going to play in a preseason, and they decided not to take they took the week light, according to Tausch, right? Because they knew that they weren't going to play in that game. How do you get guys to say, hey, you're not going to play in this preseason game on Sunday, but I need you to 100% be locked in and focused and give everything you got and give me 100% effort? That was lacking last week, and it showed in the joint practice and it showed in the preseason game.
800-990-3776. We're asking you to describe Matt LaFleur's coaching style in one word. I went with chameleon. Brad Nortman went with friendly. And Kyle Wallace, who knows a lot about this, said flip-flopper.
Yeah, and you know what? I think about these words, and it doesn't necessarily concern me about the Packers' ability to have success with him, because you're right, Ben. You don't want to be somebody that you're not. And you can win whether you're Bill Belichick or Andy Reid, and they're very different people.
Mike McDaniel in Miami is like...
But he's true to himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is very him.
And I do think about Matt LaFleur, and I feel like his default is kind of what we're describing, whether it be sort of like a flip-flopping chameleon or very friendly. He really only becomes that tough guy when he's irritated, right? We see on the podium when he's irritated,
or when people
he's
come
impatient.
up to him with jerseys.
Yes, that especially will bring him irritation. So, like, I don't know. When then you need to, the challenge now is, he's got to like bring this team down a little bit, almost feeling like got ahead of themselves, starting to buy into the national media and all the praise. When you're friendly, when you're someone that is sort of riding the wave, like you guys are describing, it's hard for him to be able to come down hard on the guys and humble them a little bit.
Which coaching style did you enjoy most in your 6 years in the NFL?
Balanced. I enjoyed the Bielema / Rivera approach. Both guys former players, so they had a level of toughness to them, but there was a level of understanding of like when to hit the gas, when to hit the brake, and just really implementing like a tough, we're going to do this kind of thing, and then also just knowing when to like be cool, be one of the guys. So it's a really hard needle to thread, and when you already have a cool one of the guys. So that's what I like the most, because then I had super strict with Coughlin, and I had super lax with Gus Bradley.
Coughlin wasn't even your coach. That's crazy.
Well,
you guys looked at him as a
pseudo coach. He was the he was the dictator. We'll put it that way. I don't know if I use that word, but
you can use that.
It's in the English dictionary. And I guess my biggest thing with flip-flopping is, right, we look at an offseason last year where you had a young football team, and what did he do? He made sure Jordan Love played. Jordan Love had 8 possessions last offseason in the preseason, or I should say training camp in the preseason, and we saw positive results from that early on. Now, he had his ups and downs because of the guys around him and learning himself, but I feel like you may have found a formula in something that right now you don't want to do. Year 5, year 4, Jordan Love shouldn't be playing in, 8 possessions in the preseason. But year 2, I feel like just maybe he anointed Jordan Love a little bit too early and said, we already know what we got, versus giving him more time to develop. Or Lamar Jackson, he doesn't need to play in preseason because he's an MVP. Or Jordan Love, eventually, I believe he won't need to play in the preseason as well because he will be an MVP. But right now, he is not. He will be, but right now he is not. And make sure he has the possessions in order to make sure he's ready for week 1.
Kyle, I want you to tell us about Underdog Fantasy, because there's one word that you can use on, if you like one thing, you can choose it. If you like the other thing, you can choose it.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. It's higher and lower. And a lot of you all are smart, not only Packers fans, but football fans and all type of sports fans. And there's no better way to test your knowledge on sports than playing the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. It is so easy to play, and this is how it works. You basically download the app in the App Store, or you visit UnderdogFantasy.com. And then what you do is you choose if players will go higher or lower on their stats. Multiple players from multiple teams. If your picks hit, you can win big time money, and plus on top of that, it makes watching football that much more fun when you actually have a vested interest in those games. So I'm telling you, go and get the Underdog Fantasy Sports app today by visiting your app store or going to UnderdogFantasy.com, and make sure you sign up using promo code KBN, because Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first pick'em entry plus a deposit offer. That is promo code KBN. I'm telling y'all this right now. You won't regret it whatsoever. So just join me today with the Underdog Fantasy Football game or Underdog Fantasy Sports app that you can play football right there throughout the football season and win big. And remember, must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog operates. Terms apply. Consumers should play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Coming up next, we have Hear Brad Out, as it is every Wednesday around 3:15. Then after Hear Brad Out, Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio is an NFL free agent. She grew up in St. Louis. There's no longer the Rams, and what I just saw on Twitter is the clown of our show, David Kaplan of ESPN 1000, is having her on ESPN 1000 to try and get her to become a Bear fan. So our pitch to her better be better than the clown David Kaplan. Hear Brad Out, Michelle Smallman, all next on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Listen, Diana, that's her name. Listen, we all about positive manifestation. I like you, Diana. All it is negative.
Diana.
Criticize.
Dirty Diana.
I love you, Kyle.
Love you too, girl.
I love you, Kyle.
I love you too. That's what I'm talking about. The real Packer Nation.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Standard ride going right now. Northbound 43 backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. Westbound 94 slow out of the Marquette all the way through the Stadium Interchange. And then westbound 894 a bit backed up out of the Mitchell Interchange to Loomis. Traffic is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Book your fantasy football draft party for a free draft kit, free room rental, free appetizers, and more. Dave & Buster's, your ultimate fantasy football draft experience. Visit dnbparty.com to get started. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Clear skies, a low of 55 at the lake, 50 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, still amazing with a high of 77. Weather is brought to you by the Racine Raiders. Catch the Gridiron Bowl 2024 on Saturday, August 31st at 7 p.m. at Horlick Field in Racine. Get your tickets now at gridironbowl2024.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Right now, they'd be a toss-up with the Herd.
People just don't know how funny mean you are.
Come on.
Well, I mean, that's mean, but it's funny, and the funny trumps the mean, and so you laugh.
But there might be some truth to that.
Of course there's some truth to it.
The Homer Hour with Homer. Weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Looking for that ultimate game day hangout during football season? Welcome to Magoo's on the Mound, now open at 11 a.m. Tuesday through Sunday. With 13 TVs, you won't miss a moment of the action. Enjoy our free 100-square pool with amazing prizes and a complimentary halftime buffet. Plus, we've got great drink specials to keep you cheering. And don't forget, we offer shuttles to and from all Milwaukee baseball games. Magoo's on the Mound, where green and gold fans gather and where every game day is a win.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy The Bog.
Hi, it's Haley from the newest Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek. Come see me today. Haircuts are just $20. Lady Jane's, Oak Creek on Howell Ave, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA Oak Creek help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can get 15% off their IKEA purchases. Visit IKEA Oak Creek or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, and the star of this segment, Brad Nortman. Chris Larson running the show. 800-990-3776 on YouTube, at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. And as always, Brad is proud of this Hear Brad Out. So if you have a reaction, I want to hear it. It's time to Hear Brad Out.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to Hear Brad Out.
All right, guys.
We
are back again, solving world's problems. This is a problem that needs to get solved. We are experiencing NFL preseason football right now. And guess what? It's got to get changed. I'll admit it, hand in the air. Preseason football, training camp, it's got to be changed. It's too lax. There's too many games. There's not enough urgency. And there's not enough interest, right? For fans particularly. And we're fatigued by now, aren't we?
I want games.
Here's my proposal. Add a little juice to the NFL training camp. We're going to replace the 3 weeks of preseason games, okay? So let's scrap those 3 weeks. But these 3 weeks, here's what it's going to look like from here on out. Week 1, we're going to do a joint practice, okay? You're going to do a joint practice 2 days worth with another team, either home or on the road. The next week, you're going to do another joint practice, the opposite, home or on the road, right? Because that's what coaches are saying as their main avenue to evaluate, right? 1-on-1s, 2 versus 2s, controlled environment, right? Final week, 1 game. That's it. 1 preseason game. The ones, but here are the rules to it. The healthy ones have to play 2 possessions, okay? So you play 1 drive on the offense, on the defense, another couple on there. So 1 offense and 1 defense. Each needs to play 2 drives. Then the 2s need to play for 3 drives, and however you want to do it at the end of the season, or the rest of the game, right? But here's what makes this game interesting. The winner gets 2 points for week 1. You start the game with 2 points. And here's why. No, and here's why.
This was so good.
No.
What are you
this
doing?
Is good. It creates a sense of urgency for that 1 game, right? Because it's like, hey, you only get 1 shot, 1 game for evaluation.
This is so...
It makes fans... Hold on, Ben. This is Hear Brad Out. It makes fans interested because, Kyle, I know you're going to want to start Friday night against the Eagles. And if the Packers have an opportunity to take a 2-0 lead, just enough to tilt the scales. Not enough to make it like, okay, they won or lost a game, but any slight advantage to give the preseason game some meaning, you're going to be interested in it. I'm going to be interested in it. In the 4th quarter, you're going to be saying, run, Emmanuel Wilson, run! And you're going to be so interested.
You're putting the season on the line of guys who aren't going to make the roster.
Yes.
This is where this goes wrong.
It makes it fascinating and fun and a sense of urgency. And you know what? The Eagles might win their preseason game too. So the game might start 2-2. But you don't want to start 0-2 for like 0-2 as far as when kickoff happens week 1. We need to assign some week 1 points to how that 1 preseason game goes. That creates at least enough interest to where it's like, okay, this game matters. Everyone says, oh, preseason games don't matter. Okay, now it matters a little bit, but not so much so to make it absurd and like really affect the season. Just enough for week 1. A little sprinkle, a little carryover. So that is my suggestion. 2 weeks of joint practice, which everyone says is more important for evaluation. Everyone, okay, I'll give you that. But 1 game, starters have to play for 2 drives, and the winner of it carries 2 points into week 1. What's going to happen is you're going to get the game reps. It's going to be an urgent game rep. You're going to have a true sense of urgency, lower injury risk. It's going to be more fun and more meaningful. I'm watching that game all the way through the 4th quarter. I don't know about you guys.
Go ahead, Kyle. Rip it to shreds.
What a huge overreach by the NFL if they did something stupid like this.
What?
You mean to tell me you're
already, Derek, this is easily the dumbest Hear Brad Out ever.
Oh, Brad, you went too far. Overreach, right? Overreach.
How?
Big
Tell me how.
NFL. Right. You're telling me that they have to have joint practices now. So now you're forcing teams to have joint practices so they don't get to dictate what they want to do when it comes to practice in their training camp. And then on top of that, when it comes to the game, you're telling me that you're going to force guys to go out there. You're going to force a Pat Mahomes. You're going to force a Lamar Jackson, a Jordan Love, all these guys to go out there and play in preseason because you said so. You tell me the whole time that preseason is worthless and it isn't worth anything. And on top of that, it is a risk for players to get injured. And you're sitting here advocating for a veteran like Aaron Rodgers coming off an Achilles injury to make sure he has to go out there for not one series but two series. On top of that, you are just showing your hate for preseason games.
You know what? You want to know what I would do, Kyle?
It ruined you're trying to ruin the integrity of the game. You know how mad I'll be if the Green Bay Packers lost by 1?
Kyle,
and it's because they got 2 free points. The Eagles got 2 free
Kyle,
points.
you're the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. I'm the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. We have a joint practice, or we're the third week. We're a preseason game. Starters, according to Brad, have to play. You know what I'm doing? I'm coming to you at the middle of the field
on the 50,
and I'm gonna say, "You ready to do this? Let's take a knee all 3 snaps for the first teamers that we don't want to play."
So then you don't get the game reps with the first team.
So here's where I'm at, right?
You need that a little bit.
I liked your creativity like this went up, and then it fell off a cliff.
Oh, huge cliff.
Kyle can say, they don't get control of their training camp, whatever. I kind of like the 2-day joint practice, week 1, week 2, and then a game week for week 3, 1 game. Why do the healthy ones have to play? Like, this is I like this scenario of a game where there's one. So if you feel like you need work for your ones, you put them out there. But if you have veterans that you want to rest, they don't have to go out there. I don't like the have to thing. When you become this dictator, you've been hanging around Tom Coughlin too long. And so, my idea would be if I have to, I'd put them out there and take a knee. If I don't think they need the work, I'm taking a knee. And then for you to say that in this third game of the preseason, it's going to have an effect on the regular season?
How great
we
would
tried
that be?
this in All-Star games in baseball or wherever. Like
it was baseball if you won the All-Star game.
Where you won the All-Star game that you get a home field advantage. What are we doing here?
It makes it meaningful. It makes it meaningful.
Right,
in a game that is otherwise not meaningful,
Brad,
it gives it meaning.
How is that fair and how is that good for the integrity of the game that in a game that a player had nothing to do with, a team had nothing to do with, based off the previous results, you get points going into that game?
Yes.
No, that doesn't make any sense. No sense. Why would somebody get points going into a game where they didn't score on me? They didn't do anything on me.
But
I'm behind the 8 ball.
But
what if they won their joint or their preseason
then it starts
game?
2-2.
Oh my gosh!
What if I'm at a disadvantage because my quarterback was hurt in the previous game, so I didn't have my full
We had to start Sean Clifford before week 1.
Then that's your one. If the healthy one's got to play.
Oh,
but guys, it's 2
No.
points.
No. It's time for the fans to react. People know what you said.
It's just enough to tilt the game and make it interesting.
Why do we want to tilt the game based off a game that had nothing to do with this game?
Because it makes the preseason game so fun.
Appleman making cider. Brad, I hate to tell you this, but this was your worst idea ever. Derek, the joint practice idea isn't horrible. You lost everyone when you said 2-point advantage in the first game. Good Lord, somebody passed that guy
Carbless.
Yep.
And I will never turn down a carbless when it's passed my way. I don't even care if it's after a great here, Brad out. I'm always grabbing carbless.
One more quickly. As a teacher here, there is no dumb questions, but there are dumb ideas.
Oh, wow. I stand by that it was brilliant. Another brilliant idea of mine, drinking carbless. It's my go-to drink, especially in the summertime now. I mean, it's just unbelievable how good it tastes when you're drinking that margarita 4-pack or the classic cocktails like Paloma and Moscow Mule or all the fruit flavors like black cherry, cranberry, and lemon lime. There are so many flavors. There's something for everybody. Once you taste it, you go, oh yeah, that's what Brad was talking about. It's so good. But it doesn't just stop there. I mean, it's a guilt-free experience. I try to eat healthy. I try to work out. I don't want to feel terrible when I want to relax and have a beverage.
Should feel terrible after that here, Brad out.
Carbless gives me that experience. No carbs, no sugars, gluten-free, less carbonation. That means less bloat in the midsection, and 100 calories per can. Made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. So many reasons to love Carbless, just like me. So if you haven't discovered why Liss is more, check them out now. It's finally time. You've heard it long enough. It's time you give them a shot. Find them online and at retailers near you.
There are 6 finalists for Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike. She is a free agent and is looking to become attached to an NFL team as she grew up in St. Louis. There is no more Rams for her. The final rows, according to Evan Cohen, her co-host of Unsportsmanlike, the Packers, the Bengals, the 49ers, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bears. We are talking to Michelle Smallman next, and we give our pitch as part of the Bachelorette of the NFL. Michelle Smallman joins us next on Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN.
Subarus, anybody in the Subaru driving down Fond du Lac or Capitol, wow. I'm like, you are not where you need to be driving that slow.
I mean, if we're being honest, it's always the Subaru.
It is always the Subaru.
And they likely have a lot of bumper stickers.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We got delays along southbound 43 heading down from Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side is going to be a bit backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for backups from 17th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. After that, you're good to go into Waukesha County. Westbound 894 continues kind of a heavy ride out of the Mitchell interchange to Loomis. And southbound 41, just south of Appleton Avenue, you'll start to hit the brakes, and you'll ride those brakes all the way down past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragaway, a quarter-mile-long drag strip plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on the track. Find full event schedules and ticket information at greatlakesdragaway.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, clear skies with a low of 55 at the lake, 50 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and amazing, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at LowTUSA.com.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
And now for the Pella Play-by-Play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down in equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 2024.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk all the time about Bank 5-9 and their mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 5-9 was just honored again by Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. They were named the #1 mid-sized employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with my friends at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Save big money on your next project right now at Menards. Shop the best in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber, decking, and fencing. It's ideal for all your outdoor building projects and is easy to load in our drive-through lumber yard. Plus, you can get free estimates fast with our deck and fence design programs in-store or online at Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust alongside Packer backer Kyle Wallace and Super Bowl 50 runner-up Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. You, KBN Nation, can chime in, and we want to hear your thoughts at 800-990-3776 because we are very excited to welcome in the Bachelorette of the NFL. Her name is Michelle Smallman. You hear her on ESPN Radio, on Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen and Chris Canty. Michelle, welcome to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And, as we take a look here, I see Evan Cohen had tweeted out at FCO Radio on Twitter X that you have 6 finalists: Packers, Bengals, 49ers, Jets, Dolphins, and Bears. And as my fiance is from St. Louis, she considers herself a free agent as well. Is this stemming from no Rams from where you're from?
Of course. We had the Rams and we had great times in the early beginning stages of our relationship. Obviously, a few years after they come to St. Louis, they win a Super Bowl. We have the greatest show on turf, the best, most high-powered offense in the history of the NFL. Things went pretty south after that. We had some bad years, some losing years, and all the while, Stan Kroenke and ownership was dangling the carrot about the team moving. It was some dark times, and then they ultimately pulled the plug. And a lot of people in St. Louis felt really badly about the way things went down. They were bitter. Some of them swore the NFL off forever, but I feel left out. I have FOMO. I miss being an NFL football fan. So I'm ready to open up my heart, let my guard down, and love again. It's finally time.
Oh, Michelle, we're so thankful to have you on, and so thankful that the Packers are amongst the 6 that are the finalists to win your heart and to win your fanhood. And in the Bachelorette, usually, you look at all the other bachelors and you're like, gosh, there's a lot of good-looking dudes around here. But I look at the final 6 and I see the Jets and the Bears, and I think, wait a minute, what are those guys doing here? They're not as attractive as everyone else. How did the Jets and the Bears make the final 6?
You are not alone in that thought process, specifically when it comes to the New York Jets. I've been getting messages, tweets, DMs all day being like, how are the Jets in the final 6? But I'll give you my explanation on both. So I live in New York City now, and I don't have a local team. I've been here now for 2 years. Who knows how long I'll be living in New York. And I would love to have some connection to this chapter in my life. CC obviously won a Super Bowl with the Giants. Our producer Nuno is also a Giants fan. So it feels like we have the Giants covered on the show. And I hate to say this to you 3 and to your audience, but I said that Aaron Rodgers was going to be the NFL MVP this year.
Oh, wow.
So I have a little bit of a take integrity there, a stake in Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So it feels like if I was ever going to jump on board with them, now is the time, which is why they got a slot in the final 6. And when it comes to the Bears, again, this is probably not going to win me any fans in the great state of Wisconsin, but I'm from Illinois. I'm a St. Louis girl because I'm from the Metro East area, but I'm from the Illinois side of the river. I went to Illinois. I already have a ton of orange and blue in my closet, and it feels like it would be a good fit to have a team in the land of Lincoln be my NFL team.
85, that's all I got to say.
Michelle, it is okay for you to have those thoughts and opinions, right? Because you're playing the field. You're open. But I want to tell you this. I just want to set you up. I'm a Packer backer, and we have room on our bandwagon because it's a big old bandwagon, Michelle. And I want to start by telling you also is that what Stan Kroenke did to you, disdain for him, complete disdain for him, and I stand with you, but I offer you an opportunity to stand with us. Stand with Jordan Love. That Aaron Rodgers you just talked about, old news. Jordan Love, better than Aaron Rodgers. You would love watching him throw touchdown passes to Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Tay Wicks. And then on top of that, you know what else we have? We have one of the greatest fan bases of all time. You like cheese? We can put it on your head with us in Green Bay. I'm telling you, there is nothing better than being a Packers fan. And then on top of that, championships. Do you like winning?
I love it. Who doesn't? Isn't that the whole point of this thing is to win?
Well, you know who
you got the Jets and the Bears on there, so I don't know. You tell us.
Out of all those teams, the most consistent one winning is the Green Bay Packers. And the last question I asked, do you like America?
Oh.
I love America.
Well, we are America's real team, so join America's team right here in Green Bay.
So I like this. I got where Kyle's going here. I actually think as a show, what we can offer up is Kyle. as you talked about what the owner of the Rams did to Michelle in her heart, she has an opportunity that we can maybe offer her.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying here?
Yes.
You can become an owner of the Green Bay Packers. You can go to shareholders meetings. You can feel a part of an organization. You can have transparency. You can be a part of those meetings. Kyle, you went to a shareholder meeting. We can even get a GoFundMe for the Michelle Smallman shareholder purchase that you can have. You can be an owner of your team after what happened to you in St. Louis. What do you say?
That is music to my ears. If you can't beat them, join them. Why not get a seat at the table with somebody who did you wrong, right? I actually love the thought of that. Part of the reason
let me tell you real quick, Michelle.
Oh, go ahead.
We don't get a seat at the table with the big heads. We just get a chair at the.
Don't tell her that.
It's bleachers. It's bleachers.
I don't want her thinking she's gonna pay $250 and then all of a sudden she gets to look Stan Kroenke and I want to sell her that dream.
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'll take a little chair at the kids' table. I already had my opportunity to look Stan Kroenke in the eye and express my disdain for him, so I feel good about that. But I do love the idea of being an owner, and more importantly, being part of an organization where I don't have to have that fear that this team could be ripped away from me yet again. The Packers are the only team in the NFL that could provide me that level of security.
Michelle, have you met the parents, a.k.a. have you been to Lambeau Field before?
I have. So a couple years ago, I'm a big experience person. I love to give gifts to people, and I'm a big experience person. I'm very close with my dad. He's the reason that I love sports. And a couple years ago for Christmas, I said, Lambeau is a sports cathedral. We have to go. So I surprised him with tickets to a Packers game. We went, I believe it was in November, and it was amazing. It was one of the best sports experiences I've ever had. As soon as we got there, everybody could tell that we weren't really Packers fans, that we were just there to observe and to be there for the game day and to sense the vibes. Everybody was so welcoming. They folded us into their tailgates. As soon as we sat down, everybody was asking us questions, high-fiving us. It was an amazing experience that I would love to relive.
Oh my goodness, you can relive it every day, all day as a Packers fan.
As Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike joins us here on Kyle Brust-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. She is the bachelorette of the NFL, trying to find the love of her life in the NFL here. I think maybe we jumped the gun just a little bit, because I think an important thing that we need to know is what qualities are you looking for, right? I haven't been on a first date, and God knows, none of us have, and God knows how long. So, we're jumping the shark here. What are you most interested in? What are those qualities that you look for in a team?
Well, first and foremost, I want stability, because the Rams did not provide us that. As soon as Stan Kroenke took over, it was turmoil, it was chaos, it was a disaster. So that's why some of the teams I eliminated early on were teams with owners that I just don't feel like I could trust. So stability is great. You obviously have that. I want to feel wanted, because after Stan Kroenke brutally ripped the Rams from St. Louis, he torched our city. He had all these negative things to say about St. Louis, and you just could tell that he didn't want to be there. He didn't want us. So I want a fan base that wants me to be there and that is going to welcome me in. Packers have been nothing but welcoming and lovely to me. And of course, I want tradition, and I want a team that's going to win. So really, the Packers are checking every single box. I've been enamored
4 for 4
since the beginning of this thing.
And then, Michelle, I'm going to tell you this. This is the reason why you should do it. You listed all the reasons why we're the perfect match. But what's better than actually being able to listen to this song as we travel to New Orleans this February for the Super Bowl? This, you could be singing Green and Yellow. Don't you want to sing Green and Yellow with Lil Wayne and all the other Packers fans across America?
That sounds like a dream, honestly. I love Lil Tucci. We could be singing this together.
Go, Pack, go! You ready? You got to say it with us.
One more time, Chris.
I can't. Not until I give a final rose. I can't do that.
Wow. You
go, Pack, go!
Are you an avid Bachelorette watcher?
I've never really watched the show, but I had to watch it for research purposes. I watched Bachelorette clips, and I watched Love Island.
Yeah.
I needed to see how this process works, how you get thrown into a process with all of these prospects, and you whittle down the candidates. So I've been watching a little bit in preparation of making this decision. And one thing I noticed in watching some of these shows is people are really pressed about their decisions, and I thought, Yeah, is that really how they feel? Is this all made for TV? I am so stressed about this. I can't even tell you guys. I have lost sleep over this because I am an Italian Midwestern girl. I'm incredibly loyal. So as soon as I pick this team, this is my team forever. This is the team for the rest of my life. So I need to make sure I get this right.
What if I told you that the city of Green Bay was holding the 2025 NFL draft, and through our, I don't know, I'd say, our relationships that we have, we can maybe guarantee some sort of, I don't know, love at the NFL draft as a part of your I guess this is for this year. Coming into this could be a championship season. Then you at the NFL draft, we have some houses with all you can eat, all you can drink. You can have a party and experience at the shadow of Lambeau Field. We can even throw things out there as part of you just being a love of the Green Bay Packers.
It starts with love.
You guys are speaking my language. Can I tell you my only reservation about the Packers?
Of course. We're here to take that away.
We're listeners, actively listening.
I love this. Okay, let's talk this out. Like, this is football therapy for me. So since the outset of this, as I mentioned, the Packers have been checking every single box. It almost feels too good to be true.
Yeah, we are
the
bad.
Only reservation I have about the Packers is that it feels like you guys are too good. Like, you always have the quarterback, you have the history. Does it feel like I'm jumping on to a franchise that is so stable that it doesn't feel fair for me to jump on with you guys? That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Well, I can answer that as a Packer fan, a lifelong Packer fan. It may seem that way, and we haven't won a Super Bowl since 2011. It's been a long, long time. This is the time to jump on, where you're not jumping on a bandwagon because we're great. You're jumping on because you see potential.
And to add to that, what you get with the Green Bay Packers that you don't get with any other franchise is over the last 30 years, Kyle just mentioned, there's been 2 Super Bowls. One of the best parts about being a fan is feeling alive. And every season as a Green Bay Packers fan, you will feel alive. You will feel like you have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And that doesn't mean you're jumping on to a dynasty. That just means you're jumping on for a ride. There's going to be heartbreak. There's going to be huge moments. There's going to be success. You are going to feel every emotion. And we live this one life. If you are going to be a fan of one team, the Green Bay Packers will take you on an emotional ride that'll be worth every second of it when you hold that Lombardi up virtually.
Yeah, and Michelle, to drive that point home, don't settle. Just don't settle.
Brad played for the Jags and the Panthers. He knows settling.
Hey, I still love my Jags and Panthers, but let me tell you one thing. Doesn't matter if you're tying the knot or giving the rose or picking your life's fanhood. This is a one-time decision. Do not settle. You shoot for the best. I know you will, because I know you're going to pick the Green Bay Packers.
These are all good points. You guys are really making this difficult for me. You're really driving home everything I already feel.
And don't listen to David Kaplan. He's the clown of our show. He called Justin Fields the best quarterback in the NFC North last year. And, I do have one for you. Evan Cohen, Scott Van Pelt, you've had the opportunity to work aside both of them. Who is more fun to work with, Evan Cohen or Scott Van Pelt?
Well, to be fair, I only worked with SVP one time when he filled in with Rosillo, and he was lovely to work with. SVP is everything that you think he is and more. But Evan Cohen's my guy. I work with Evan every day. He's the absolute best. So no shade to SVP, but I'm always going to pick my teammate, Evan Cohen.
Oh, okay. You ain't gotta butter it up. We keep it real in Packerland. Evan's okay.
Michelle,
you get that loyalty from me too as a Packers fan. See, by doing it, I send you that same amount of loyalty.
Blind loyalty. I love it.
So does this mean we made it to the hometowns?
You'll have to tune in 2 weeks and find out. But let's just say you're leaving me incredibly intrigued.
That is Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike. She is the Bachelorette of the NFL. If you have any other questions that come up, the phone lines are always open. You have a direct line to all of our fans as they're offering you tickets to the Wisconsin-Alabama game. You can parlay that. Like that's the hospitality that you will get in Wisconsin. People in Wisconsin love Wisconsin. I grew up in Illinois as well. I chose to live here because I love this place. You will feel that same way when you select the rose for the Green Bay Packers. Thank you for your time, Michelle.
Thank you guys for having me.
Go, Pack, go! That's Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. We sealed the deal. It's done. It's done.
She's a future Packer backer.
Yeah, you can hear it.
And we can probably get her set up with Gina Della from Pella and get her Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
I mean, if there's any way to seal the deal, it's that, Ben. And tell you what, talking about sealing the deal, talking about high-quality product, the best product, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, getting that at an affordable rate. Now you got my interest. And that's what Pella is offering you right now with this limited time deal. It's limited. It ends on August 31st of 0% interest for up to 60 months. 0% interest for 60 months. In this economy, how can they do it? I honestly don't know, but Pella Windows and Doors wants to offer you that right now. You have 10 days to take advantage of it. So act now. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Change the windows, change your doors, transform your house. 0% for 60 months. Visit PellaWI.com today.
More Kyle Bruston-Nortman on the other side. We react to our Riz for Michelle Smallman to be a Packer fan next.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
Giannis does look like a longer, he beats on his body, like kind of plays so rough you wonder about. Shut up, Max. Yeah.
I'm not letting that one pass.
Yeah, I just realized beats on his body. Like, I meant like physical,
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Physicality down there.
Come on, Kyle.
No, you guys are, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure your minds are in the gutter. Grow up.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
My Aunt Bella was telling a story, and her speech was a bit slurred. Her smile was drooping. Was she having a stroke? I knew it was time to run through the Be Fast checklist. B, balance. Bella was fine. E, eyes. Her vision was fine. F, face. Oh, the drooping. A, arms. She could lift both arms. S, speech. Oh, definitely slurred. T, terrible headache. She had one. Signs of a stroke. I called 911 and saved Aunt Bella's life.
Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services Coverdell Stroke Program.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
I thought Brian Flores did the only thing he could do, which is take the high road. He didn't invalidate Tua's feelings by being defensive. He said that was certainly an opportunity for him to learn from, something to grow. He felt hurt by what Tua said about him, but he's going to use that to try to be a better coach, be a better man moving forward. Now, he did say that he didn't believe that that's who he was as a coach, but that's as far as he went in terms of trying to defend himself. I thought Brian Flores did a good job of trying to pour water on this thing and not make it more incendiary than it already was.
Yeah, I was surprised he addressed it just because he comes from that school of assistant coaches don't meet with the media that often, and they don't meet with the media in an emotional moment. They meet with the media when they have nothing to say in their designated days. But I thought he did a great job yesterday in handling this.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 1 pallet or more of select shingles. Plus, save 10% when you buy 68 or more select OSB sheathing. And if you find a lower price in-store or online, we'll match it. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, it's Haley from the newest Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek. Come see me today. Haircuts are just $20. Lady Jane's, Oak Creek on Howell Ave, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit ZBart.com for more information.
31 players on the Packers roster not dressing for game number 2 of the preseason on Sunday night in Denver, and that resulted in a 27-2 loss to the Broncos. The scoreboard isn't exactly what Coach Matt LaFleur was upset about. It was about the lack of production.
Offensively, just want to see more fight from our guys. That was frustrating, just the lack of ability to move the football, both in the running game and in the pass.
And the next chance to reevaluate any game scenario will be joint practices with the Baltimore Ravens this week before the final preseason game on Saturday afternoon at Lambeau Field.
This has been your green and gold fix Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Thanks to Michelle Smallman of Unsportsmanlike for joining us. She is the bachelorette of the NFL, looking to become a fan of a team as she lost the St. Louis Rams. Her team moved to LA, and we did our best. We answered the questions. We gave our pitch. We go to Sean in Beaver Dam, 800-990-3776. You're up on Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Good.
Doing well. Hey, listen to you guys every day, obviously. But I also listen to Unsportsmanlike every morning. And
cool.
And I've listened to Michelle Smallman, going on this list, and happy to hear after work today that, Packers, we were still on the list and et cetera. And I wanted to say that I was really impressed with your presentation to her. I'm glad you touched on all the things I was thinking as she was going to be coming on through that commercial break. And Kyle, you did a great job touching on the ownership factor. Brad, I really thought you would do a little more Suave Rico type thing. You kind of trolled with the Panther Jaguars. Not that that's a bad thing. Badgers all the way. Love the Badgers. Love you as a Badger punter. But Ben Brust surprised the heck out of me.
He did good.
And
he did good.
He did very, very well. And especially hitting on the Illinois link and coming to Wisconsin and all that stuff. And I just, it was just fun listening to that segment. And I'm glad that you guys did that. Brad, so this sounds bad, but that whole preseason thing, I don't want the Packers to down too good.
I hear Brad out. That was
some
bad.
Some lame game.
But what they start 2-0.
And we're running a little short on time, but we appreciate the call, Sean in Beaver Dam.
Sean is a very nice guy, and he lets you know you were lame. That was a lame idea, Brad. That's what it is.
I stand by
He
it.
apologized, said sorry, Brad, but that was a lame. It was a lame idea. Throw it in there with the little menu thing you had. Throw it in with the movie theater stuff you had. It was a bad.
Guys, I just want to let you know right now, we didn't win, and we're not stopping here, right? This is just the start.
All right, let's not stalk the woman now.
Cheapers Christmas.
Come on, we ain't stopping until we get it now. She gonna give us.
I have an idea, and I have multiple ideas because what do we love that Brad does? Brad is a preparation guy.
He is a
I think he should write a Bachelorette Michelle Smallman to the Packers poem. That seems right up your alley, doesn't it, Brad?
Banger.
I'm going to have to harness the early days of trying to woo Lexi, but focus on the Packers for the show.
Well,
pretend Michelle is Lexi. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I also feel as if with Pato Sportsbook, I'd like to pony up some of my own money and offer her up a Green Bay Packers Super Bowl future that if she chooses to be a Packer fan, she gets to keep that on us or on me. And if she doesn't, she sends it right back and I'll keep it for myself. There's a lot more we can do with this to make her a Packer fan. Up next in Madison is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We're here till 5 o'clock on 94.5 ESPN. Don't go anywhere. Back in 2 minutes.
Delays along southbound 43 from just before Hampton all the way down past Capitol, and then again right through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound is slowing from before Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound on 94, watch for delays from 17th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. And the eastbound side is going to be slow just east of 84th Street all the way through to 35th. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Clear skies, a low of 55 at the lake, 50 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, still amazing, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
greeted by an owner at America's largest employee-owned jewelry store.
Welcome to Kessler's.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you also know we have the best prices guaranteed every day? Pet food, wild bird food, automotive, hunting, fishing, farming, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nordman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
He's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Bruss alongside Brad Nortman. Chris Larson running the show in for Alex Strofe. 800-990-3776. We just had Michelle Smallman from Unsportsmanlike on, as she is the bachelorette of the NFL, trying to find her team for the future. Was a Rams fan. They were taken from her. Her fandom, they spit on the city. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm telling you, when it happened,
trust me.
I was disgusted by
my
it.
fiance, as I mentioned, is from St. Louis, and when I talk to her, my future father-in-law and the brothers, it's...
You know how dirty they did them?
They did them bad.
They begged for them to build a new stadium, and then he moved and built $1 billion stadium on his own in L.A. That is grimy.
It's more than $1 billion stadium.
That's grimy as could be.
It was one of those things that, I always just thought it was a bargaining chip. I didn't think it was legit, and then the dude did it.
Now, Jason chimes in with the only bugaboo in the interview is when I said we might be jumping the shark.
Yeah,
that was really yeah. Kyle and I looked at each other and said, I
don't think that's the saying. I don't know.
Jump the gun?
Yeah.
Jump the gun.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Jump the shark.
I'm always a 95% guy. I thought I did really well in my presentation.
Usually, though, if you get it wrong, you're at least close. Like, you'd be like, jump the gut or something like that. I mean, jump the shark, though.
Jump the shark.
Yeah,
she's probably like, what the hell?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard somebody ever say that.
Jason says, we are the Packers, don't be thirsty.
Oh, wow. We're open.
No, but
Say, don't.
But what makes this, as I tried to mention, as someone who was from Illinois and has made this my residence for over 10 years of my adult life, this is a place where I came to because I love the openness and the welcomingness.
Yeah.
Well, and that I think we need to lean into.
That Midwestern feel.
We won't be desperate or thirsty. We will continue to be who we are, and our character will show throughout this process.
And that's why I asked if she had met the parents, aka gone to Lambeau. Because if you go to Lambeau, I mean, you realize this is different. This is different here.
I told you because I don't know if you were definitely weren't on the team because I was also graduated and you graduated before me. You were in the NFL punting. The first time I ever stepped foot in Lambeau Field was the LSU-Wisconsin game. And it had nothing to do with the Badgers playing. It had everything to do when I stepped into Lambeau Field, because I've been to the dump of Soldier Field in Chicago before.
Oh, it's a dump.
I was like, oh, so this is real. This is what history and winning and culture of winning is. You step in that stadium and you feel it. So I think we continue to be ourselves, but we continue to give a couple olive branches out there to her.
Isn't it wild that her only reservation to the Packers was like basically like
It's too
fearful they're
great.
too good for them? It's like the really attractive girl who's also funny and into sports and kind, and you're like, what is their fault? Like you're searching for that, but that's honestly a sign that you've got a good one.
Well, it means we're going to be near the finalist.
Oh yeah, we got her heart.
And what that is I think that's just trauma from the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, she's
and
protecting her heart.
We need to overcome the protection of the heart by continuing to show the grace that we are as Wisconsinites.
I think we absolutely will do that. We need to have open arms and welcome her in. She is a big-time ESPN national host on the morning show, and so I definitely want her to join us here.
I do want to get back to the conversation that we were having earlier in the day about, and if you missed any of our show, go to WisconsinOnDemand.com, wherever you get your podcast. Watch back on YouTube. We're live on ESPN Milwaukee, and you can always get in at 800-990-3776. Obviously, this is an important week for the Green Bay Packers. The joint practice tomorrow, deciding the fate of the starters if they play in the preseason game on Saturday. But I also want to continue diving into Matt LaFleur because we're getting, there are some people that get at Matt, like Roberto. He thinks he's a little corny, right? Like I've seen a couple responses of, mentioning the P stuff. Like, he's not very. I still stay with my word. What is your one word to describe Matt LaFleur and his coaching style? And I would say chameleon, because it kind of goes with, hey, last week, yeah, everything's good. We're going to give the starters, the week of playing the joint practice, won't play in the preseason game. This week, that was a bad performance. Now we got to have a great practice before we can even consider. It's just like he kind of goes with what's happening, a little bit more reactive than proactive than I would like in my head coach.
Yeah, and I pegged him as friendly, right? Because he's quarterback friendly. Aaron Rodgers had great success underneath him, and a young Jordan Love is doing great. He's player friendly because I gather that he's one of those coaches that just makes things a little bit easier for the player. Very pro player. Hey, let's back it off. Let's not be too much. I'm going to take you out of preseason games. I'm going to take it easy on you. He's very, very player friendly. And I try to think of the coaches that are tough, like the Mike Tomlins and guys like that. It just doesn't seem like Matt LaFleur has that in him. And that's okay. You don't necessarily need to have that in you, but he just very comes as more of like the friendly, the Sean McVay, easygoing. And, usually oftentimes the type of guy that you are at the podium, in my experience, is a little bit reflective of who you are in front of your guys, too. It's very hard to be two different people. And Matt LaFleur is generally easygoing. He's generally pretty casual. He can get irritated, though.
I remember there was an interview at the end of how they do like the prime time like interviews at the end of a quarter with the coaches? Like, just ran off, like he was just like so mad, and then like ran off, and
like a strange one-word answer. You're like, ooh, that's awkward.
And when things are going good, he's very happy to be there, right? Like, where's the consistency there?
Yep.
Like when we talk, I like this one because he's from the same coaching tree. I'm not saying he's had the same success for Matt LaFleur, but what I do know about Mike McDaniel of the Dolphins, whether they're winning or losing or how the game is going, he has that consistent demeanor. And I think all you want from your head coach is consistency on what their style is. I knew Bo Ryan was never going to praise me for anything. And did I expect him to praise me? No. That's why, and I hate to do this and be like, because how many times have we done the show and how many times have I actively brought up the half-court shot against Michigan? This is probably the first time I'd say. What was so shocking was when I hit at the half-court shot against Michigan, there was a picture of him with his arms in the air, with both arms raised. That tied the game. Now, in the video, he raised his arms and he realized he has to put them back down because that's not who he is, right? And so, the consistency I knew from what I needed from my head coach was you show up, you play hard, you play within his system, you're not going to get yelled at. You don't, you're going to get yelled. You know what I mean? I am still trying to figure out what his true identity is, and part of this is coming after Aaron Rodgers, and part of this is growing with this young team.
And I think you said that so well when you told the story about Bo Ryan, who resonates with so many fans here in the state of Wisconsin. He does not have the identity, as in Matt LaFleur, of what he wants to be, right, and who he wants to be. The just whole point of last year with the football season, him second-guessing himself and second-guessing his quarterback and basically saying, you know what, I just told him let it rip, right, let loose. And to the point of your guy will follow you. Jordan Jordan Love believes in what you're saying, but you were somewhat holding him back because you didn't believe in the fact that he was ready to go, but you didn't believe in the fact of what you were selling, what you were coaching. And so I just need Matt LaFleur to stand on whatever he believes and do not deviate from it. If you want to have joint practices, dang it, you have joint practices. If you want guys to sit out the whole preseason, don't waffle on it. Say, this is what we're going to do. If you want guys to play in the preseason, then you tell them, listen, fellas, you're going to go out there, you're going to play a series, you're going to play 2 series in this game, and you're probably going to play another 2 series in this game. I don't care what you guys have to say. This is what we're going to do. I want him to stand on it because what he has proven is that when he leads, his players do follow. But now he just needs to consistently lead the same way every single time.
Well, of course, I shouldn't have done this. Real quick. Chris, Ben made a half-court shot against Michigan. Who knew? Cool.
And you're totally right about the consistency part.
I like the cool.
DJ back there, DJ Chris. But when it comes to the consistency part, like, there's no doubt he's a brilliant schemer, offensive mind. He put this youngest team in a high caliber, dynamic offense. There's no doubt his football mind and his capability. I just wish he would pick a path because sometimes he comes off as tough. Other times he comes off as very player friendly. I even think about Sean McVay, right? Sean McVay, he might be the most player friendly coach in the NFL, right? He's always high energy. He's always supporting his players. He's very rarely negative on them. And it works for him because he's that all the time. Even if they struggle, he's like, we're going to get it right. We're going to do this. That's just who he is. I don't know, generally speaking, what Matt LaFleur you're going to get. And that's the part of the coaching part where it's like there's scheme and there's culture and like being who you are. And I don't know if we've gotten that exact answer yet. And it'd be a
scheme, we have the answer.
Scheme for sure, but it's the culture and personality part. I think we're still trying to figure out. That's going to be critical for him to take this team to take next step.
It's so critical because this is the time to do it, right? This is the time to lay down exactly what it's going to be, whether or not it's going to be the hammer like you talk with Tom Coughlin, or whether or not it's going to be the Sean McVay where I'm a player's coach and this is what it is. I'm going to support you regardless of what it is. But just make sure you're doing it consistently. You have an opportunity as a coach, a special opportunity where you have a young roster that excelled last year and got a taste of success. Now the hard part is making sure they truly reach their potential and reach the success they really need to, and that falls on Matt LaFleur being the coach that they need. And I hope that he's going to be that coach for us at the Green Bay Packers.
800-990-3776. Dick Van Dyke chimes in, the real one. Head coaches need to have grit. Matt is lackluster.
We got some rough folks.
It feels like selective grit, though. Or like he wants a grit. He calls it out. He says, like, I want them to be way more gritty. We weren't gritty enough. But are we seeing then the actions to follow to establish that grit? Because then the next day, Kyle, you saw that Matt LaFleur said, maybe I'm too hard on them.
That's the reactiveness that I was talking about. Like, what is that consistency? What is that identity? And I'm still trying to figure out that true personality identity.
He is a little emotional, but that's okay. Some of us are emotional.
Yeah, you would know.
Not a negative trait because I may or may not be emotional myself, but I'll tell you one thing. I love me some Matt LaFleur. I do. I really do believe what Matt LaFleur has done just when he had Aaron Rodgers to come in year one and be so successful, though he didn't get over the hump and he made some mistakes in that time because of what? He didn't trust himself when he decided to kick that field goal instead of trusting his quarterback. But then on top of that is what he was able to do with this team last year. This guy's a heck of a football coach. And
no one's questioning. No one's questioning. He's a coach. Yeah, he's a top 10 coach. He's made the playoffs for the 5 years he's been the Green Bay Packers coach. But it doesn't mean you can't start thinking about like what is missing for this team and him and this identity for the Green Bay Packers moving forward as a young team to continue to ascend the right way. And I think it's the trust that he can continue to build with Jordan Love, and that will be the biggest thing. Because if he has trust with Jordan Love and Jordan Love plays at a high level, you can get away with maybe not being the most, consistent in your demeanor as a head coach. If you have a great relationship and he focuses on the quarterback and that's where his best relationship is, that's a good spot to have it. And speaking of trust, you can trust Bank 5-9.
You can always trust Bank 5-9. Bank 5-9 is in the business of making your life better. Now, they just happen to be doing it through financial services. Whatever you need from a financial standpoint, Bank 5-9 is there for you. But they're making lives better of everyone around them, whether it be the southeastern Wisconsin community through charitable giving and volunteerism, or even their employees. I mean, employees love to work there. They've been named a top workplace by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel 15 years in a row, #1 midsize employer, and special recognition for the company's overall direction. It's just reflective of the fact that Bank 5-9 is your true local community bank that succeeds in its mission of making lives better. How can Bank 59 help you make your life better? So many ways. You got to Google them. Go to bank59.com. Member FDIC, Bank 59, baby.
All right, the Brewers have done it again. They won a tight one against the Cardinals. That's 6 straight, 1 game back of the NL National League lead. Not the NL Central, the NL. The odds are close for both teams, the Packers and the Brewers, as it stands right now, to win their respective championships. We'll give you those odds, and you got to tell us which bet you like better. That's next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
My offer, as we've come up with it at KBN, thanks to JD and Fondy, reutilizing Judy, who's still in my garage right now.
Is she a big booty Judy or a little flapjack booty Judy?
She's got a little something to her. I'll say that.
Oh, she got some
Judy the blow-up doll. She got a little something to her.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Northbound on 43, backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound is backing up just a bit right before Capitol Drive. Then beyond that, going to slow down over the high-rise bridge through the Marquette, so just be careful with that. Westbound 94, backing up out of the Marquette all the way to about 68th Street, and then the eastbound side is going to be a bit slow from 76th through the Stadium interchange as well. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a low of 55 at the lake, 45 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 76 at the lake, 81 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30.
I thought they looked great. I got to be honest, I think that's what I kind of expected from the Packers.
Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Construction Business Group and Island Resort and Casino.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's racing season at the legendary Great Lakes Dragaway, and our schedule of events is ready. We've still got our yearly holiday weekend races like Labor Day weekend, plus Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Night of Fire. You can also book corporate and private events. Take advantage of our season-long passes and even schedule a time to take your car down the legendary quarter mile. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean, green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your higher love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at Find Higher Love.
Cousin Subs just got better. With our newest mobile app update, we've made it easier to purchase your favorite subs and sides with Apple or Google Pay, and the ability to make split payments. And that's not all. Could we get your digits? Sign up today for our new text messaging program to unlock exclusive coupons and offers at cousinsubs.com or via our app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, if you have that pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your back, you're probably feeling it as I am talking. QC Kinetics is here to the rescue. QC Kinetics employs their new cellular therapies to give your body and use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your joints so you can move again. The weather is still great out there and be able to do all the things you love to do. Go for a run, go for a hike, play golf, whatever it is. You can't do it if you're feeling joint pain, and QC Kinetics will give you the fix. They're going to use their advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility, giving you long-term relief. Not short-term relief, long-term relief. Steroids, surgery, pain pills, those aren't your only options anymore. QC Kinetics is the future of medicine, and they're proving that with the tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have already got their life back. That joint pain, gone with QC Kinetics. Call for a free consultation now at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
That's Brad Nortman. I am Ben Bruss alongside Kyle Wallace. Chris Larson running the show, UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. The crew did it again. That's 6 straight for the boys as they are 21 games above 500. As Kyle and Brad have said, they are just along for the ride, and I have said, I don't care. I've let my heart go. I will sink or swim with this team no matter how they go, how far they go, even if it means my heart will be broken.
It must be nice to be able to be a fan of a team but not a real fan of a team, so when they lose and your heart gets broken, it gets broken but you'll recover. Like, this is our life, man. This ain't nothing we play with. You just basically coming in here, dropping in here and saying, oh, I'll cheer for them because they're good.
What's with the attack right now? Why are you acting like I'm not a Brewers fan? I watch every single freaking game.
You're a seam head, so you watch a lot of baseball. If the Brewers suck, you wouldn't be watching every single game.
Yeah, but also,
if the Brewers suck, you would not be watching every single game.
Okay, you want to play this game?
Uh-huh.
Guess what baby girl is dressed in at home?
Oh, you're a real bandwagon fan.
Brewers gear.
That's good. That's fantastic.
And you know where we got it from?
Where?
My fiance's friend who is engaged to Devin Williams.
Oh.
Cool.
I don't know why he dropped that. What does that have to do?
It was just for me to get a cool.
Well, the airbender bent some air last night too, boy.
Yeah. Nasty on Goldie.
I like.
So the question remains, right? Your faith in the Brewers, right? Because we had put out a poll on Twitter at KBN ESPN. If you're buying this team to win a World Series, I think it ended around like 50-50. We'll just call it 50-50. It's like 52-48, whatever. We'll call it 50-50. People are believing. Some people are still cautious because of the pitching staff. Whatever you want to pick, Christian Yelich injury, you can name it. When it comes to the Green Bay Packers, I'm not going to lie. When we had Michelle Smallman on of Unsportsmanlike, I felt like I was the Packer backer of the group, given the best pitch to Michelle Smallman. So this is going to be a tough decision as I look, what is the better bet right now? Because when I look at the future for the Green Bay Packers, they are plus 1,800 to win the Super Bowl. So if you bet $100, you would receive 1,800 plus your 100 back. $10 will get you 180, and your 10 back. So that's a starting point for you guys to start noodling. You can react to that for a second as I'm pulling up the MLB futures.
I already know my answer. I don't care what the odds are for the Brewers. I'm already going with the Packers.
Oh, really?
It's the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, of course it's the Green Bay Packers. Are you kidding me? The Milwaukee
I'm surprised. I'm going to go the different direction.
I love
Milwaukee Brewers plus 2,000.
Listen,
so Brewers are the more juicy bet. You get more from the Brewers.
100 to win 2,000 versus 100 to win 1,800.
I like the Brewers more than that.
I know. I hope I would. If I had cash, I would do 50-50 each, right? But
don't do that.
You're
Kyle.
such a loser.
Don't do that.
I would. But what I'm saying is,
you know this thing in radio that we do.
No, I said
we ask a question, and usually people give opinions. They don't just hedge you would do all the time.
I can hedge 50-50 with both because that means I can get rich. But with the Green Bay Packers,
that actually means you could lose both and not get rich.
If I'm going to lose $100 anyways, potentially,
a hedge would be you have the Brewers to win the World Series, they make it to the World Series, and you guarantee money by betting on the other team they're playing.
Okay.
So you guarantee money.
Thank you.
Just want to get you in the right mindset here.
I appreciate you. That's why Pato loves you and I love Pato. But this is what I'm going to tell you, is that it's the Green Bay Packers, because the Packers showed us something already, right? The Packers showed us that they can actually compete at a high level when it truly matters. When we look at...
Time out. Am I living in the same world that in the same show on the same day, he said that we cannot use the blueprint from the Packers season last year to talk about future success?
Yeah, and a couple of times you said last year's success doesn't mean anything for this
And so
year.
now I'm hearing you did call Matt LaFleur a flip-flopper, and you yourself are a flip-flopper, so it's on brand. I'll give you the floor. I just wanted to confirm with Brad. I heard something early in the show, and I'm hearing something later in the show.
What I'm saying is I hope Matt, I'm a fan. I'm not talking about Matt LaFleur can't just say, oh, well, we looked good last year, so we're good to go. No, Matt LaFleur needs to make sure he's putting something in them to get them ready.
Voice. So it look good now.
Oh, well, I don't know. But my whole point is this, is that the Green Bay Packers did show me last year, and they also have shown me over the time with Matt LaFleur as a coach, and just overall being a fan, is that the Green Bay Packers are a championship contender year in and year out. With the Milwaukee Brewers, even though we make the playoffs a lot of years, some years it just doesn't feel like we have a real opportunity. Last year being another one where we were hoping that the Milwaukee Brewers could potentially go to the World Series. We didn't feel confident. With the Green Bay Packers, I think as this season goes along, the Green Bay Packers have an opportunity to show everybody that what they did last year, they're going to be able to continue that success this year. And with that means that they grow in confidence and that they can actually compete against the 49ers. They can compete against the Detroit Lions. They can compete against the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys for the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. So if I had to choose between two teams, even though the Milwaukee Brewers have shown me this year they are a good baseball team, I still do not trust the Brewers to win a World Series over the Green Bay Packers.
To me, that's the Brewers, and it's the easy bet. I mean, not that anything against the Green Bay Packers, but you're talking about a range of possibilities before the season even starts. I mean, there could be injuries, lack of jiving, all these things. One of the hardest things is making the playoffs in your respective sport, and the Brewers have a 99.4% chance.
Thank you. That was my next point.
So once as you make the playoffs, literally anything can happen. I'm not going to go as far as Ben and Strofe and put my heart into it, but we don't even know if the Packers are going to make the playoffs. We don't even know. I expect them to, but a lot can happen, and a lot of surprises can happen along the season. We're a little bit more than 75% of the way through the Major League Baseball season. To where the Brewers are right now would be the NFL equivalent of having like an 11-3 record and just beating the Chiefs, the 49ers, and the Rams. You'd look
powerful.
At that and you'd say, dang, this team can actually do it. So
it's single elimination in the dang NFL.
Yeah, so you have one shot, and all you have to have is one off.
There's a reason why there's 2 Super Bowls in the last 30 years, as you eloquently put it earlier.
There's a reason why there's 0 World Series in the last appearances in the last 40-some years, Ben. What are we talking about here?
We're talking about the odds and like you're acting.
You're making a decision based off the fact that yes, the Brewers have played most of the season, and you feel good because you know they're going to.
Because the question is knowing what we know now. And Justin chimes in 800-990-3776. Kyle, you get to bet on a team that's in first place by 12 games with longer odds. They are guaranteed to make the playoffs. Essentially, the Packers. We don't know if they will even be in the playoff. It's not that crazy to take the Brewers in this scenario.
If this was a road trip and you were going from New York City to LA, you're still packing up the car if you're the Packers. You don't know what that trip's going to look like. But if you're the Brewers, you're already to like Vegas. You're already pretty far along the way.
Okay, so that's a great stop.
Great stop. I spent a couple days there.
When you take out the fact that the Brewers have already shown that they're going to make the playoffs, if you just had to choose, looking at both teams this year in the sense of what we think the Packers are going to be and what the Brewers have shown they are, who would you put all your money on to believe that they're going to win the World Series? Take out all the odds and all that. That's kind of skewing your perspective, Brad.
They're pretty close, but they're still a little better.
Who do you believe? If you had to look back and you put into the time capsule that we're going to have here, if you had to put down on here, by the time that we open that up, which team will have
you
won
have it upside down, buddy.
Which team would have won a championship, the Brewers or the Green Bay Packers? Which one would you put on this piece of paper for your time capsule?
It's tough. That's why it's a good question. But the Brewers have already done so much. They've already put so much in the bank.
Which team?
You're the one who's complaining about the training camp right now and how it's going to affect the start of the season.
So much can happen to the Packers along the way. So much.
I guess I'm just so confident in the Packers this year. My confidence is all the way through the roof. With the Milwaukee Brewers, maybe next year in 2025, I will probably be saying something completely different because I can say the Milwaukee Brewers made it to the NLCS. They've had such a good season last year.
Yeah, but you know that's not how it works. In 2018, they went up to the NLCS and haven't been back. Success isn't guaranteed to go the next step after a good season.
I feel like this roster with the Milwaukee Brewers is a little bit different this year because you have a group of young guys that are coming of age together with a couple sprinkled of veterans in there. There's a lot of young guys that are developing together under a tremendous manager in Pat Murphy. That's why I think that they're building sustainable success here in Milwaukee, that the Packers, as Strofe said, have already started last year. So I am very confident that the Green Bay Packers are the team this year that can win the Super Bowl over the Milwaukee Brewers winning the World Series. And if I'm wrong, you know what? I'm happy either way.
You're saying if they both win, you're happy?
If the Packers don't win and the Brewers win a World Series, I'm still a champion this year. I'll be celebrating right there.
I'm still a champion.
I am a champion.
No, you're not a shareholder. You're not Mark Antanasio.
Me and Mark understand how to be cheap together, so I feel like he's my
kindred spirit right there?
Yeah, kindred rich spirit.
Yes.
Would you steal or allegedly steal sand to make something in your house?
Was the sand in his backyard? It was in his backyard.
All right, you guys are kindred spirits. And he'll go to any lengths to defend anyone who has cheap habits. His name is Kyle Wallace. But if you're looking to make an unbelievable experience, regardless of what happens to our sports teams, for your college experience, you can make your campus living more comfortable, functional, fashionable. Let IKEA and Oak Creek help. They have innovative storage solutions. I saw these storage solutions. It was something that when I saw in the Ready for College section, I was like, dang, I wish I had this. I'd look organized. The ladies back then would have been like, oh, you're not a slob? That's awesome. You can have that by stopping by the Ready for College section. You can make the bedding and accessory fashionable and make it uniquely yours. Make that college living inspired by you. Qualified college students can get 15% off their IKEA purchases. Visit IKEA
to Kyle, Brust, and Nordman.
Oak Creek at the Ready for College section at IKEA.com/US to learn more. Go ahead, Chris.
Southbound on 41, we got some backups from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side's going to be slow, basically crossing over Mayfair Road all the way up towards Capitol Drive, and then back on the brakes all the way up to Silver Spring. Eastbound 94 got some backups from Meadowbrook Road all the way through to Highway 16, and then again from Barker Road all the way to Brookfield Road, and again from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mainly clear, a low of 55 at the lake, 45 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 76 at the lake, 81 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Gridiron Developmental Football League National Championship is coming. On Saturday, August 31st, the Racine Raiders take on the Upstate Predators from New York. Don't miss out on your chance to enjoy real football for an affordable family rate. Buy your tickets now at GridironBowl2024.com. It's Gridiron Bowl 15. Kickoff from historic Horlick Field in Racine happens at 7 p.m. on Saturday, August 31st. That's GridironBowl2024.com for ticket and event info.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA Oak Creek help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can get 15% off their IKEA purchases. Visit IKEA Oak Creek or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too.
She absolutely nailed it.
Are you talking about Jenny Sambeline? Yeah, Jenny and her pendant, the music in a mother's heart. Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Jenny, we're going to produce your pendant design as a limited edition collector's item and put a few of them in all of our 8 Kessler stores.
Congratulations, Jenny. Wow, this is huge. Jenny, we expect the music in a mother's heart to sell out very quickly.
We'll also make a few available online.
I designed that pendant from the memory of how my mother made me feel when we'd sing together.
How often did that happen?
Constantly. We'd sing along with whatever was playing on the radio, or sometimes we would watch a musical on TV and sing along with that.
At just $124, the music in a mother's heart is going to sell out lightning fast.
I'm buying one.
I'm buying one. I bought the prototype the moment I saw it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
They say seeing is believing. And when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, I love my Universal Windows Direct. I'm telling y'all this right now. It's starting to get colder. You know what I'm saying? The fall is right around the corner, and I want to make sure that you keep all that cool air inside your house. If you're looking to replace your windows, Universal Windows Direct is the company to go with. Go to their website. Go to UWD.com. It's UWD.com, and you will see all the great reviews that they have, but then also you'll see all the great window options that they have as well. They make life so easy for you. If you call them at 414-410-2000, they will have somebody out there within a matter of days, actually for a day for me, to come out and do a great consultation. They came after 6 o'clock. I said, hey, I don't get off work until 6. He said, that is perfectly fine. We'll be there at 6:30. We'll meet you there. We'll walk you through the process, and we'll make sure that you know exactly what you need to make sure your home has the best windows possible. That's what they do at Universal Windows Direct. Plus, always remember, for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. There's no limit. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com. That is UWD.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
He's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust. Alongside Brad Nortman, Chris Larson run the show. Quickly, we go to the phone lines, 800-990-3776. It was one of the most embarrassing text messages I've gotten in a long time. It was from my brother, Jonathan Brust.
Oh, JB.
JB, welcome to the show.
Hey, JB.
JB.
Hey, Kyle, I just want to welcome you to the Bears family. I mean, you're getting free gear from the Pro Shop. It's fantastic.
No, first and foremost, if I wanted puke clothes.
Kyle, come on, baby. It's good.
No, those clothes are only good for wiping my behind.
I mean, oh, no, green and gold? Come on. You want to have the navy blue and the orange.
Do you know what gold is? It's the color of championships.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't know. He does. Well, I don't even know. If you were born, you can't remember the championship.
Nah, yeah, he was born in '82, so he was 3 years old.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't remember. Wow. It must suck to not remember a championship.
Well, we got it coming.
Oh, they got it coming now. Hey, it's been since '85. They got it coming now.
Didn't you say Justin Fields was going to have it coming as well? What happened with that?
Talk to Kaplan about that one.
John in the 262 chimes in. I can agree with this one. JB equals typical tool.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh. This is bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
it's not a good call for you right now. And then you were calling to brag in about text messages of your son and his friends burning an Aaron Rodgers playing card. He doesn't even play for the team anymore. What are you trying to do?
Here's the proof, man. Why don't you look at that picture a little closer, because it was Jordan Love.
Okay, cool.
What are you preaching here? What are you teaching your children to
burn
do this?
stuff.
My goodness, JB.
You're a father of 6. This is irresponsible.
I mean, weren't you guys 13 years old? You guys were all 13 years old. When you're 13, you just want to be a pyro and burn something.
JB,
they got a Jordan Love.
You got to exchange that for some money. It's probably worth something. At least get some cash out of it.
It's definitely worth something, because I know
Worth
that little
more.
card
Oh,
with Caleb Williams ain't worth diddly.
I'll flip you the nickel. You can get rid of Ben.
You know, this is the problem, JB. Don't you think you're teaching your son to hate? I mean, you think about this. He's going to hate the Green Bay Packers forever. Instead of focusing on his team being good, you're teaching him to hate the Green Bay Packers. He's going to have that the rest of his life.
I put him on hold because I think I just want him to listen now.
Yeah, he should listen. He should take a life lesson here. Just let your son know early on, son, hey, don't take that anger out on the Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Take it out on me for making you be born here in this state where I forced you to be a Chicago Bears. That's on you, JB.
I'm not even saying this like sarcastically. I legitimately think Bears fans hate Green Bay more than
they
like
love
the
the Bears.
It's a really weird dynamic. It's really strange.
I must suck.
Like, could you imagine Kyle ever thinking about as a 13-year-old burning something from the Chicago Bears?
Not at all. I laughed at Chicago Bears. They sucked. Ha, 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 ha. They had one good year. They had sexy Rexy Grossman as their quarterback, and they lost in the Super Bowl. Been trash ever since.
That was Jonathan Brust. Thank you for the call, Jonathan. It's time now to make some money. Same game parlay time.
It's time for Ben's Same Game Parlay. Sponsored by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. There's a table waiting for you at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, and full-service sports betting. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Guys, it's there for me. And you know I'm a believer. And Kyle, you learned a statistic about Tobias Myers. What is that statistic?
Tobias Myers, since June 1st, has the lowest ERA in baseball. Yes, Tobias Myers, the rookie, old rookie, too, 26. What a good story he had. He sucked a couple years ago in minors.
He's got a 2.81 over the season. He's going against Kyle Gibson of the St. Louis Cardinals at a 4.26 ERA. Guess who's favored to win that?
The Crew on the road?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Minus 115 on Potto Sportsbook is the Cardinals. I am changing this to Ben's best bet. I am doing just the Brewers at minus 103. You can lay $103 to get $100 right back if the Crew just get a win. And this is a nationally televised game. This is on Fox Sports 1 at 6:45. And you got the lowest ERA since June 1st, Tobias Myers against Kyle Gibson, and an offense and a team that continues to do what they need to do to get victories. I'm riding along the 6-game winning streak. It's the Brewers, Ben's best bet at Brewers minus 103.
I like it.
I kind of like that bet, too. It's a good bet.
The bets have been okay.
The bets have been okay.
But I trust, they're due for a breakout game, right?
I mean, absolutely. And Kyle Gibson's not no. He's not Sonny Gray they don't even have guys. They don't have guys.
Yeah, they're struggling. They're floundering right behind the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, we're getting inside baseball. Johnny here with a Tobias also has a 46% whiff rate with his changeup.
Oh, wow. We got some seam heads coming out.
Love it. So is James the Postman. Shout out to all you baseball seam heads out there. I'll be watching tonight and enjoying it with you all. That is Ben's best bet per Potawatomi Sportsbook and their wonderful casino. But right down the road in New Berlin is the Princeton Club. Great time to join the Princeton Club. They're always upgrading the facilities, and when you're working out, you have the best equipment, and they're always bringing in new equipment to make it better, so you never have to think, is there something else out there? Free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. You just need to start investing in your health, and you will get hooked on the club because they offer everything for you. An outdoor pool, indoor pool, outdoor tennis courts, indoor tennis courts, basketball courts, workout classes, personal training. They have it all. You can find your better tomorrow. Just have the courage to get a tour and join the Prince Club for a better tomorrow. Now, from our poll on Twitter at KBN ESPN, let's take a look here at what the results have been since we put up. Knowing what we know now, what is a better bet to win the championship this season? The Brewers are at 44%, the Packers at 56%. I still am part of that. Brewers bet is the better odds and the one I still believe in most because as we saw with the Diamondbacks, all it takes is to get hot and you get in there and anything can happen. And as we know, the NFL is ridiculously hard to win championships. You've had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Rodgers and Favre, and they each got 1. So for me right now, with those odds, my brain tells me I'm taking the Brewers with what we've seen, as Brad eloquently put it. What would you say this is the Brewers at this point in the season is to what in a Packer season?
You know what? Because they're more than 75% of the way through the season. This is like an 11-3 Packer team, a team that is in control of the division, that's guaranteed to be playoff bound, has one of the best records in the NFL, and would have just went off a winning streak of the Chiefs, Niners, and Rams. That is where the Brewers are.
Braves, boom. Dodgers, boom. I'm blanking on the Guardians' best record. Boom, out of here.
And you've already almost
12-game lead in the NL Central. 21 games above 500,
and basically have the best record.
Have a shot to get a 1 seed in the NL.
Man, I love it. Man, I'm here for the ride. I'm gonna enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride, Kyle. Enjoy the ride. And I get a text message from Jonathan Brust. Do you want to hear how this is really sad? 105, 95, and 6. Take out the last 30 years.
Wait, what?
That's the record of the Bears versus the Packers without 30 freaking years.
That's just
talk about moving the goalposts.
The majority of his life, he wants to take out the things that he actually got to witness. He wants to take out.
Yeah. He wants the Men in Black
modern
zap
football.
of just forgetting 30 years of his life and pretending like it's just going to turn all of a sudden.
Yeah, let's just forget football as we all know it. Let's just forget about those years.
Man, something is wrong with Bear. What is in that? Well, all I know is when I go down to Chicago with my baby, or you go down with your baby girl, don't let her drink that water.
We bring our own food and beverages to the family parties.
We can't have no delusional brust up here.
I do my best, Kyle. Homer, the man, joins us next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Thing has ever happened to you from a breakup?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, no.
I don't want to talk about it.
You brought it, so I had to ask.
I ain't gonna put my old shorties on blast. But
why not? They're old shows.
I've had some
old shows.
My parents listen to this show. I don't want my parents to know the craziness that I've dealt with that they son been a part of.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Wilde and Tausch.
Did you get nervous as a player, first of all, before matchups with Bruce Irvin or whatever it might have been?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
He's such a jerk, isn't he? He just can't help himself. He's got perfect kids. They eat all of their vegetables and everything else. And nothing, but Jason loves to throw pot shots whenever he can. Have you noticed that about him?
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit ZBart.com for more information.
31 players on the Packers roster not dressing for game number 2 of the preseason on Sunday night in Denver, and that resulted in a 27-2 loss to the Broncos. The scoreboard isn't exactly what Coach Matt LaFleur was upset about. It was about the lack of production.
Offensively, just want to see more fight from our guys. That was frustrating, just the lack of ability to move the football, both in the running game and in the pass.
And the next chance to reevaluate any game scenario will be joint practices with the Baltimore Ravens this week before the final preseason game on Saturday afternoon at Lambeau Field.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
For love of the game.
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Rick Papandrea. I hear so much about the subspecialties here at OAW. What does that really mean, and how does that differentiate OAW surgeons from others?
The main difference, I think, for us is the subspecialization that we don't just participate in, but we really embrace. Everybody who's here has done extra training beyond the normal 5 years to have a subspecialty. But we don't just dabble in that subspecialty, we focus in it. So if there's a problem in the group, a patient has an issue that's very specific, a provider might realize that issue needs the attention of that subspecialist. So what we do is we make sure the focus is on the patient and we get that patient to the provider that has that subspecialty focus. I think a lot of surgeons and providers will have a focus, but they will do it when they can and do it when it's convenient. But for us, it's really the priority.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Radio legend.
I don't care. I wanted to talk to Brent Musburger. That was for my own personal benefit. I hope other people enjoyed it, but I wish I was Brent Musburger. How about that?
Voice of Marquette basketball.
Joplin to the basket. Oh, wow. Hammer time.
And owner of the most famous catchphrase, at least in this building.
Oh, baby, that's sweet.
It's time for Uncle Homer on Kyle Brust and Nortman. Presented by Robert Hack Diamonds. Visit them at their Greenfield or Brookfield locations or online at roberthackdiamonds.com.
Dun, 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 dun. That's right. It's Homer time, presented by Robert Hack Diamonds. And look, here's what I know. I sat down with Leslie in the Greenfield location, and I had an idea of what baby girl wanted. Not my now daughter, but my fiance. And Leslie and I, we went to work. We went to the lab, baby. We went to the lab, and we looked at everything. Show me this, show me that. And we put together the perfect ring. And you know why I know it's the perfect ring? Because all the ladies at the bachelorette party she's been going to, oh my gosh, you did a great job picking that out. And she goes, Ben did it. But Ben didn't just do it. He did it with guidance from Leslie at Robert Hack Diamonds. Check them out in their Brookfield or Greenfield location. They will help you, whether it be lab grown, real. They always say, go look around, go look around, go look around. And you come back and you're like, all right, you guys really do have the best price for this diamond and for the quality that they provide. RobertHackDiamonds.com or visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield. Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, and joining us now is Homer. What's up, Homer?
How many minutes till the show starts?
Oh, wow. Till you?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
8 minutes.
Wow.
Well, 8 minutes till
feeling the pressure.
Why are you feeling the pressure?
I just had to say something out.
Oh, okay. You don't feel pressure.
You always bring your A game, Homer.
I don't know if that's true, but no, I don't feel pressure.
Homer, have you seen this?
Yes, he hates it.
No, I mean, but have you seen it on paper, though? On paper, it's different, right? When people
give it to him. Give it to him. I want Homer to react to the Kyle Brust and Nortman green and gold time capsule that will be burying in my backyard.
You don't have to bury it in your backyard.
Yeah, I do. It's a time capsule.
Don't.
Yes,
Show
I
some
do.
Respect to the woman you're going to marry.
Chris, play the clip.
I don't care what
yes. Chris, please play the clip.
I don't care what she said.
Yeah, no.
You don't need to bury it in the damn backyard. You can put it in the safe.
So I'm going to bury it in our backyard, and then at the end of the season, we open up the time capsule to see what everyone predicted.
From 10 years from now, or?
No, at the end of the season. It's a season.
Where's the 10-year thing?
Where did the 10-year thing in at all?
I thought you said 10 years.
No. Before the season, end of the season, then we unlock it and read everyone's predictions, see who's right, see who's wrong.
Our backyard is already pretty looking, so.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why I said I could do it in my backyard, because it already looks like crap.
Put it in your garage.
So you're cool with it?
Yeah. Okay.
Nicer than she should be.
Homer, we're gonna have
She's
to.
not really good with it. I heard the whole conversation. She said, fine, this is just another thing he does. Okay.
You didn't hear the whole. You weren't there.
I listened to this conversation.
Yeah, but you said you heard the whole
when she said
conversation.
10 years, let me translate. No one would put it buried if it's going to be for like a week.
It's going to be the whole season.
No, you bury stuff when it's going to be like 30 years.
No, or the rest of your non-existence.
What?
Through the impact.
Are you going to help us?
Are you going to fill it out?
If you want me to
fill it out.
Yeah!
Come on, Homer. Let's go through it.
You're the only one that's going to fill it out live.
On air. I got a pen right here.
Okay.
His name is Steve, the Homer True. His social handle at ESPN Homer.
Wait, Homer's left-handed. I didn't know that.
Homer.
Regular season record for the Green Bay Packers.
11-6.
Ooh. How many games does Christian Watson play?
15.
Oh, wow. You're hopeful.
Most disappointing player this season.
A.J. Dillon.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really going on a limb here.
Fine. The punter.
I like it. I like that one. The punter.
I don't know his
No, he doesn't know his name.
Waylon, dang it.
No, right, the punter. The kicker at the end of the year will be
the draft choice. Anders. Yes.
Will producer Alex Strofe be invited to Ben Bruss' wedding?
Nothing to do with the damn thing. No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing these personal
When
things.
does the season end for the Green Bay Packers?
They win one playoff game and then lose the next one.
Again. Oh, no.
Who leads the team in receiving?
And what does that mean? Catches?
Yards.
Watson.
Wow,
you're
he's
big
high on Mr. Watson. Will Kyle Wallace get engaged?
I don't do personal stuff. This is something about the Packers.
Where does QB Jordan Love finish in MVP voting?
5th.
Oh.
Who throws more touchdowns this season, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love?
Wow. Aaron Rodgers.
So that means Aaron Rodgers finishes ahead of him in MVP.
One surprising prediction for the professional football season, specifically for the green and gold.
Bears make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
To the Packers?
Yeah.
11.
Do the Lions?
One surprising prediction.
I think it's even more surprising if you have the Lions, too. You have 3 NFC North teams making the playoffs?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, wow.
The gauntlet.
It says one surprising prediction. That's surprising.
Good,
you got mad at me. I'm a disappointing player, so I'm glad I did better.
No, see, this is. Thank you for. Give him a round of applause. See, I'll take a little nudge for our guy.
Even more surprising prediction. You'll get a braid and invite your producer to your wedding.
You can write that in the surprising prediction for Kyle Bruss and Nortman show.
All right.
That would be a surprising prediction.
It would
be because he's still fringe.
This is the same producer that you offered for him.
No, I'm changing my mind. You will have another child before this one is 2.
Oh, wow.
A second child before this one is 2.
Well, by the math that I've laid out with my fiance,
that odds would be against that.
The odds would because the wedding.
Should we pregnant at the wedding?
Well, hang on. Stay with me, Kyle. Baby girl is. We'll do some quick math, everybody. Baby girl is 7 months. The goal is to wait until the wedding day to go for number 2.
Consummate the marriage.
And then that would be 9 months there. So
9 months in August.
That's more
would
than
be like.
That'd be
April.
That'd be over 2 years old for baby girl.
So I said she'll be pregnant at the wedding.
That is a surprise.
Hey!
That's what Homer's prediction
That's his prediction.
is.
I don't want you to speak that out loud.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of love.
Yeah.
Hey,
that would be a very surprising prediction.
Hey, he's following the assignment.
Banger.
Chris.
We actually well played.
It doesn't
Very well
matter.
played.
It's nothing to do with the banger.
No.
Banger.
Opinion of a comedian. It just depends whether there's a goaltender.
Oh, there. How would you describe Matt LaFleur's coaching style in a single word?
You good? Yeah.
You just think he's good, huh?
Good. What?
I
think that was going to be my discount league Twitter poll question. Is Matt LaFleur a good coach? I think it should be better than 96%.
Yeah, he's a good
yes.
coach, but aren't there just some things that you wish he would improve on to show a little bit more consistency? He just kind of
What
goes
do you mean?
back.
What do you want him to do?
No, just overall he goes back and forth. Like last week with the
he
decision.
tries to act tough every now and then. That's
Yeah,
the reason.
I mean,
no, he's not tough, and so he
Well,
just
okay, well
faked
then,
it.
so that's the thing. Nobody wants somebody faking to be tough.
He
Just
shouldn't
be
be.
yourself.
He
Just
should
be
be.
true to yourself.
He
Like,
should be, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's the one thing that's missing with him is that there's something lacking where he just does not feel confident enough to say,
No.
I am Matt LaFleur. This is who I am. Like Mike McDaniels we talked about, he's a weirdo, right? He smoked vape, allegedly, on the sideline because that's what he does. He's a weird guy.
LaFleur needs to hire somebody who's totally unlike him. He needs to hire a tough guy. He needs to hire a crazy man. Instead, he's decided, I want all other smart people too, and those kind of people don't win. It takes a variety of different coaches.
You think it takes a little crazy?
He needs tough, crazy.
So I think that head coaches in any sport need a little crazy.
Oh, totally.
What would you say that Shaka Smart's crazy is in?
He's obsessed with winning. He's like
very enthusiastic, right?
To what?
Very enthusiastic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Is that authentic?
Definitely, yeah.
And he's true to himself, and that's what I just want Matt LaFleur to be because he has the opportunity. He doesn't worry about Aaron Rodgers. He can be true to himself, and these guys will follow him.
General, he is, but every now and then he says, "I gotta show everybody I'm tough." Or
yeah, that's the thing. Is like last week it was, the starters are not playing, and then it was a bad joint practice, a bad preseason game, and now it's like, all right, now this week we're gonna have to play tough if you're not gonna play.
Now I got a defensive guy that he thinks
I called him a
smart
chameleon.
too, so. No, he doesn't do this often enough.
He doesn't what?
He doesn't do this often enough to be a chameleon. He does it once in a while, but he's pretty much, everybody knows who he is.
Well, we know the Discount Liquor Twitter poll, and we know the Homer Hour's up next in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It is Homer. Rain Man, Jason Willie, TVV.
Don't bury this in the ground. Come on.
I'm going to do it, baby.
Fine.
Oh, give me that. Give me that. Yeah.
We got a couple of issues right now. We've got an accident on 94.